Hello, my loves. Today, we're going to talk about submission. Submission between husband and wife or boyfriend and girlfriend. Do both deserve you to submit to them? Do both of them deserve the same treatment? Because do you expect the same treatment from your boyfriend and your husband? Or you playing house? You playing house and shacking up certain things you don't do? Or is it you're supposed to do everything? I don't know. We shall find out together. But let's get this party started.
I'm back with another video. So, first of all, I want to say thank you guys so much for all my new subscribers. I really appreciate your support and your love that you've been showing me. And today, I'm bringing you some different content. Of course, I'm going to be talking, but today I wanted to kind of shift to, as you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about submission and kind of how that plays a role in dating as a Black woman. So yeah, this should be interesting. Let's see what I can pull out of my little notes section here. But yeah, if you guys are interested in this video, please continue watching and don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, so I have my little book of notes here because I was really interested in the topic, and the reason why I chose to discuss this subject is because occasionally I'll be listening to a podcast by Lovey Ajayi. Some of y'all may know her, and Yvonne Orji. She's from Insecure. She plays Molly, and they both have a podcast together called Jesus and Jollof. So it's such a good podcast. Like, I really recommend it. You can find it on Spotify and Apple Music or anything Apple. I don't know. I'm an Android user, so I can't relate. And Lovey said something. They kind of touched on the subject a little bit in one of their podcasts. I can't remember which one exactly it was, but what she said really hit home for me. And she said, submission does not equal obedience. Submission does not equal obedience. And I feel like as a young Black woman, who's been taught to be independent and, strong, when we hear the word submission or being submissive, it's like we apply like a negative connotation to it when I don't think that's the way it should have been interpreted. And I'm going to be touching on the Bible because it does speak on that. That's where we get it from, wives submitting to their husbands. And so, yeah, that's pretty much why I'm speaking on this now, because I was like really intrigued by what she said, and I kind of wanted to do my own little digging and research on it. So I got my Google little notes here. There was an article by this lady called Betty Miller, and she really just broke it down from head to toe. Like, she did a great job. And so I'm going to read some of that to you guys and read some of Ephesians chapter 5. So yeah. So basically, I'll start off with saying the definition of submission. So when I looked up the definition, there were a couple different ones, but the one that I thought fit what we're talking about is basically it says yielding to another's desires without resistance. And this is an attitude of the heart, so it's not done forcibly but willingly. And while I was there, I was scrolling down through Google, and then I saw surrender. I saw the word surrender. And so when I saw that, it kind of said submission versus surrender. I was like, ooh, that's good. That's good. Because surrender is actually the opposite of submission. And that definition is yielding while being forced to do so.
Hey, Caroline.
So you can see where the difference between submission and surrender is willingly versus forcefully. So I feel like all this time that I've been hearing the word submission, I think of forceful, I think of lessening or being weak. And that's not what we should be thinking. So I'm just trying to introduce like a new perspective. Maybe some of y'all already knew this or thought this way, but for me, it's just something that I just come to realize. So I wanted to share that with you. Is that okay? So yeah, so you have submission versus surrender. And also I want to mention that submitting to your husband is submitting to God, and that ultimately the first submission should be unto the Lord, our God. So Betty here, um, she basically goes on to say that when it says in the Bible that wives should submit to your husbands, I'll read that part right now. It's in Ephesians chapter 5. And it says, and further submit to one another out of reverence for Christ. That's verse 21.
One
So
another.
that goes along with what I said about
One
submitting
another.
unto God first.
One
And then it
another.
says, for wives, this means submit to your husbands as to the Lord. Right?
And the same thing for the husband.
So
keep it going,
in
keep it
her
going,
article,
keep it going.
She goes on to say that
You forgot something.
the Lord ordained the man, that the man be the head of the house, and that he makes the final decision. So that doesn't necessarily mean that he's making the decisions, like he's just making all the decisions. Like, you have input that you can give, you have your own opinion that you can put in. It's not just saying, oh, yes, yes, yes to your significant other. Like, you are whole by yourself, and you have your own opinion, you have your own thoughts. So you are allowed to present that. We're not slaves to our significant other by being submissive. That doesn't mean we're a yes man to them to do whatever they want at whatever time. But it's just an act of honor and respect when you allow your husband to lead. And so basically, she says that the man be the one that would make the final decision in the home, because in any relationship, any relationship involving two people, one must be the final authority. And that makes sense to me because, like, say you are in a team of two, and you guys, um, you have opposing decisions. So if there's only two of y'all, if you vote and it's going to be one versus one, who's going to be the third one to cancel out the vote? You know what I'm saying? So think of it like that. Like, you need someone, and mind you, this person needs to be deeply rooted in Christ, aligned with God's will, because you cannot be submitted to just anybody who's going to lead you down the wrong path. So make sure this is very important for us Christian women, that you are dating somebody who's equally yoked with you and who's.
What's so crazy? What's so crazy about this? They never truly break down what submission means. Submit to your husband. Also, the man got to submit to his wife. That's why you said each other. But nobody truly breaks down what submission is. Like, what do you mean? Submit and do what? Cook? Okay. Clean? Okay. I mean, what do y'all pushing this submissive stuff so much without even breaking down what is submission? And you can't break it down in biblical terms, because then you will have to do a lot of stuff in that Bible now, wouldn't you? A lot of people like to use the Bible when it's suit fit for them. You can't love, man cannot be head of the household if God is not ahead of him. So there's no need to submit to somebody who God is. If you don't love God, you love your wife as you love God. They always forget that part. Then they always telling you, oh, they do it all over this place. No, then they out of order. That's out of order. Doesn't mean you could do whatever you want to do. Submitting to something just means that I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to submit myself and I'm going to do this job. Or, it's like you take the meaning of submission is Submission in marriage is selflessness, service, accountability, and respect for your partner, which should be mutual. Okay? In a marriage, submitting ourselves to our spouse means that we learn the day in, day out habits of meeting the wants and needs of our husband or wife. Often, submission is learning to consider your spouse's opinion. It says consider. Okay? How to teach a woman to submit. Let's see what they say about that. Okay, that's a video, so we won't be saying that. How to deal with submissive. Okay, what does being submissive to your husband mean? Submission looks like respecting your husband's point of view. Well, we do that anyway. It means humbly sharing your opinions with him. It means not invalidating him, especially in front of others. Does he? Well, hopefully he don't start anything in front of others. Then he don't have to worry about me invalidating him. It means trusting his decision as a leader. That's only if he's a leader. He's not God. He makes mistakes. Sometimes we see the mistakes, and if I'm rolling with you, I'm not going down with you. We're supposed to bring each other up while feeling empowered to give your own point of view. That is some of the meanings of submission. Okay? So we're going to let her finish because she didn't even read all the biblical terms, but okay.
Aligned in the will of God, with the will of God, because his desires, when you're aligned with God and his will, his desires will be your man's desires. And same with you. When you're aligned with God, God's desires will be your desires. And so your human flesh won't take over because the Spirit of God is in you and, convicting you of which direction you should go in and all that stuff. So to me, submission is just simply opening up your heart to show honor and respect for your husband or significant other in whatever stage that you are in.
Not no significant
and it's
other.
having the confidence and
nope.
trust in your partner to be able to lead you in the right path, right? So I truly believe Lovey said it perfectly. Submission does not equal obedience, and a submissive woman is not a slave to her husband. It's not agreeing with everything that he says, but being able to present your own opinion in a loving and honorable manner. You know what I'm saying? So for an example, if your husband presents to you an idea and you just shoot it down saying, oh, that's terrible. That's a horrible idea. Do not do that. We're not doing that. That's overtly resisting what's in his will, right? You want to do it. If you disagree, that's fine. But you need to do it in a respectful and honorable way. And that's assuming that your husband is doing his part, loving you just as Christ loved the church. Because if we read deeper into Ephesians, after verse 21, it goes on to say, for a husband is the head of his wife as Christ is the head of the church. He is the savior of his body, the church. As the church submits to Christ, so you wives should submit to your husbands in everything. So for husbands, this means love your wives just as Christ loved the church. He gave up his life for her to make her holy and clean, washed by the cleansing of God's word. So that's deep. So let me break this down. So Ephesians chapter 5 says that husbands should love their wives as Christ loved the church. Let me read a little bit further, because it says, for a man who loves his wife actually shows love for himself. And basically it says that because if you look at the imagery and you listen to the word, it's saying that the church is Christ's body. And obviously, if you were raised in a Christian church, you were taught that the church is Christ's body. So if Christ loved the church and laid down his life for her, and the word is calling God is calling husbands to do the same for their wives. That means wives, we are the church. And hold on, I'm getting confused. So wives are the church as wives are
I know what you
why I get
mean.
confused. Wives are the husband's body, just as the church is Christ's body. If that makes sense. I hope that
No,
makes sense. Wives are the husband's body, just as the church is Christ's body.
no,
I'm getting
you
confused just
confused.
saying that, but when you really think about it and you read Ephesians, it really, as you begin to soak it all in, it really does make sense. So that I said that to go on to say that unless the husband is doing his part, you're not going to want to submit naturally, right? Then it becomes like it's forceful, because if your husband is not loving you as Christ loved the church, um, then you're not going to want to submit. And I feel like that's the issue with a lot of Black women today, when they're dating and like trying to find love. It's like people want us to be submissive, but they're not showing that they have strong leadership capabilities. They're not showing spiritual maturity. They're not showing that they can be protective over what's theirs. And so, why would we want to submit to that? And I feel like that's the reason why a lot of people disregard Black women while in the dating uh, range or whatever, because they feel like we're the least submissive out of the Caucasian, out of Asian, and Latinos. So I don't have all the data on that, but yeah, most likely black women are said to be the least submissive. But we're only going to submit to people or to a man who has those qualities. So I wanted to mention, just briefly, like those who are on a journey of celibacy and waiting until marriage to unite with their partner. Just because a man says he's willing to wait, that should not be something that you're automatically like, oh yeah, that's great. That means he's like for me, he's good for me. Um, Honestly, I feel I've been there before, and I easily saw that that was not the case. You want somebody who's been called to celibacy, not just waiting for you. You know what I'm saying? Because they can be tired of waiting. They're gonna get tired of waiting. Um, because if you're not deeply rooted in Christ, and if you're not called to celibacy on a personal level, then there's not gonna be any like, there's no goal to reach. I don't really know how to explain it, but if if the man is not called to celibacy, or he does not feel that on his life, and he says he's gonna wait for you, I don't think that's necessarily the best choice, because you want somebody that's on their own journey of celibacy and not just waiting for you, because they're gonna get tired of waiting, and they're not gonna have like a personal goal, and they're not gonna
Hey,
they're not gonna have a
Paul.
reward. They're just waiting for you. But there's things that God promises, as rewards. Um, but yeah, I don't really know. I don't really know what to say. So I'm just gonna leave that there. Um, and I just want to say that I do believe that independence, our independence and submission can coexist. Because, like I said, submission is not lowering yourself. It's not making you less than. It's not making you weak. It's not any of that. So you shouldn't feel like you're giving up yourself and your desires and what you want to do, because that's not the purpose of submission. Submission is choice. You do it freely, because of the love that you receive from your spouse, right? So, um, if you look up the biblical meaning of submission, I went over the regular definition or whatever. It is a wife's choice to not overtly resist her husband's will, not to say that she can't agree or express her own opinion, like I said before. And if I know anything about a man, it's that they need to feel trusted by their woman.
Hey,
They need to
Vance.
feel
Hey,
that
baby.
affirmation. They need that affirmation. Um, of their ability to lead, because that's just part of their nature. So when you're like just blowing off whatever they say and you're just doing like you're going your own separate way and saying that you didn't hear that, but you don't feel the same way, that's fine to not feel the same way. But like I said, say that in love and just try to put yourself in that person's shoes.
Now, remember, the topic is, do you submit to your boyfriend or to your husband? Now listen to how they twist her words up. But here we go.
Boyfriend. Okay. So my father and my grandmothers and my mother taught me, if I'm dating, don't give him relationship, vibes. Otherwise, he's never going to want to get you in a relationship. He's going to keep dating other people and not want to just lock you down.
Let me stop right there. Let me just jump in right. So you're saying in a relationship, you were taught not to be submissive to your boyfriend?
That is correct, because it's not in a relation in the Bible. It's not. That's my faith. It doesn't say be submissive to your boyfriend. It says be submissive to your husband. That because we become one, and you never know what's going on in a relationship. I may ask him nicely, can he draw a bath for me? And he says, "Oh no, you got that." You don't know what's the outside, the inner core of a relationship as to why I'm like, well, he can make his own plate. I can draw my own bath. He can make his own plate. It just depends on the circumstances. And also the comment you said about, I'm paying the rent and making a plate, two totally different things.
Mm-hmm.
Two totally different things.
I agree.
Try to
You're fine.
Let
me just jump in and ask you this. So you're saying that you're gonna hold back your femininity. Let me take one step further back. Let me ask you this. Do you consider yourself a feminine woman, or do you think that your femininity is like a switch? Like you cut it on when you're married and you cut it off when you're not married?
No, you keep it's on. It's just you have to depend on when it's time to use it, just like at work.
So you're feminine by nature, but then in a relationship you suppress it, but then once you become married you release it.
All the gifts you really, really, really can't wait to unwrap.
It becomes a growing.
I ain't got no co-host, so we get to talk this over. But you're going to notice how he tries to trip her up. He tries to trip her up, which he does trip her up. He does. Chrissy, hey, baby. He tries to trip her up. But no, you don't get husband privileges on a boyfriend budget. The purpose of dating is to get married. Why are you dating if the purpose is not to get married? People think dating means I can do whatever I want to do. I'm just dating. No, the purpose of dating is to get married. You should never been living with no man anyway. You should never gave him certain aspects of your life and your home and your time and your space. He didn't have you can't say you can't. You're gonna see how he trips her up. But my opinion, no, you don't get none of that unless we marry. Shacking up, baby. That's right, shacking up.
We're building.
I'm asking, is that kind of how it works? I'm a man, so I don't really understand how a woman's femininity works.
Okay.
So I'm depending on you to kind of explain it. You're saying that a woman should not be feminine in a relationship, should be feminine in her marriage. And so in the relationship, what I'm asking you is, are you suppressing your natural femininity, Or do you not have any femininity until you get married? And then once you get married, then your femininity becomes into being?
No, my femininity is already here. It's not being suppressed in a relationship. You just have to know when to use it.
Let me stop. I don't understand you when you say that your femininity is here in a relationship and it's not being suppressed. Because I thought you said that you become that you withhold your femininity until you are married. That sounds like you are suppressing your femininity.
No, I'm saying that as a wife, because of my, in my faith, you are submissive to your husband with things like that.
So you are not submissive to your boyfriend?
No, because that's giving him, why buy the cow if you can get the milk for free? I've watched my friends do this.
So that's what I'm asking.
For years.
That's right. So you're not submissive to your boyfriend. Is that right?
That's correct. It's another word.
Okay, wait. So you're not submissive to your boyfriend. I'm just trying to I'm a man, Chanel, so you gotta
exactly,
be patient with me. I'm trying to work it out in my head. You're not submissive with your boyfriend. Now, when you're with your boyfriend, you're saying that you are a naturally submissive woman, but you are not submissive to him. Is that right?
I'm accommodating to him, not submissive. Okay. But it does depend on, no one has kind of mentioned.
Let me ask you, so you're saying you're accommodating. Why isn't being accommodating fixing that man a plate?
Because what I'm saying is I might be accommodating and doing a lot of things prior. And then I kind of noticed that I'm not getting the same reciprocity back. So that means I'm like, I'm not going to keep doing for you and you never do anything nice, little kind gesture for me. As I've watched my friends think that's the way to keep a man, and then they never got wifed up.
Let me ask you, Chanel.
First of all, one thing has nothing to do with the other. You asking him to do things for you has nothing to do with submission. And you doing stuff for him has nothing to do with submission. You must be married to be submissive. And whatever y'all submission is, everybody's submission is different. No, I'm not being a wife to a boyfriend. Then he leaves. Exactly. That's petty to think that something a woman has to do, she can if she wants, but it's apples and oranges. Yeah. My thing is how one thing has nothing to do with the other. If you're going to shack up, you're going to shack up. If we're going to shack up, no. But my thing is you ain't got no business shacking up. So then we ain't got to worry about that conversation. When we get married, then we talk about that conversation. Verse said it best. I am not being. No. The other thing. Oh, okay, baby. I see some coffee. Aw, thanks, love. I appreciate that.
Are you currently married now?
No, I am not. I'm 48.
Okay. And have you been married before?
No, I have not, but I've been in relationships before.
Okay. Looking back on
it
now as a 48-year-old woman, as we get older, we can look back and we have the value of hindsight. Do you think that it was wise to hold back your femininity until marriage?
Yes.
Does it appear to you that was that worked?
It's not necessarily. I mean, I guess I take away when you're saying holding back my femininity. What I'm trying to extrapolate is that if he is not doing things for me and I'm doing nice things for him all the time. When does he ever do something nice for me? He's going to continue to keep thinking, I'm going to do all these nice things, and he doesn't have to do anything.
Leave him.
But if I just don't make his plate one time, that doesn't mean he needs to go out to a whole other person. Because like I said, I've watched friends of mine do everything for a man, and he really didn't have to raise a finger. And that's just a relationship. And they were in the relationship for like 5-6 years, and he ends up moving on to someone else, and they would come crying to me like, I gave him my everything, and he didn't reciprocate. He didn't do anything nice for me. I would do this, I would do that. And I'm like, well, you know, why would he need to buy the cow if he can get it for free? You was giving him everything.
I hear what you're saying, but then it doesn't appear that your way worked either. Big shout out to Suave, right? What does Suave say? You want him to show leadership qualities prior to marriage, but you won't give him submission and femininity qualities until after marriage. How is this fair to men? Let me ask you, Chanel, you know, if you want to respond to this, I don't know if you can see the super chat. It seems like you're saying, listen, if I give him the best of me now, he might not want to marry me into the future because he's always getting the best of me. All right. But then what Suave is saying is like, but you are in a relationship with him and you want things from him. So he's giving things to you, but you are withholding from him. Suave is saying, how is that fair? How do you respond to this?
Well, I never said that he wasn't. I never said that he was. I said if he is not. Like I just gave the example about the bath water. I'm like, babe, can you run my bath water? And he's like, no. Or little bitty things I keep asking, and he says no. What is inside of me that says, you know, I'm just feeling so generous. I'm gonna make his plate for him. But he never does anything for me like that in our relationship.
Let me ask you though. If it sounds like you're saying, well, this man
some more coffee
isn't providing me with certain things or isn't being nice to me. And running my
thank you for
water.
the coffee,
Let's be
my
honest,
sweet
Chanel.
baby.
I mean, you have a vagina, right? So you're at some level, you are valuable to men. Why is it that you've chosen that one man who will not run your bath water? You've chosen that one man to exclude all other men. You've chosen that one man to be in a relationship with. What is it about you that's making you choose men like this to be in a relationship with when other men would run your bath water?
Well, that's what I was trying to get at. I'm like that with other individuals. That's what I'm saying, that not everybody. That's what I was trying to get at, because it was like a blanket statement. So
what
I'm
are
like,
you
not,
trying to get at?
not everybody is being great. Like with a man expecting this, not every man is being great to their woman at home or whatever and doing nice things for them.
A house or a laptop? Which one do you think is worth more? Well, definitely not the house, because it not only...
You're saying not every man is being nice. And I don't want to keep cutting you off, but I want to kind of further the conversation. You're saying not every man is being nice to women in relationships. And I would agree with this, right? Here's my question. It seems like you're saying that even if a man is being nice to you, even if a man is being accommodating, even if a man is running your bath water, you still would not be submissive to him because, like you said, that would be giving him the cow. That would be giving him the milk without buying the cow. So even if he is all of these things for you,
she never said he was anything though.
You still would not be submissive to him in that same relationship because you don't want to get him. You don't want him to get the milk for free.
No, that means that I would do that for him because we're doing for each other. That means we're building.
Chanel, you're contradicting yourself now.
Well,
wait. Just let me just say, you're contradicting yourself now because you said we were talking about relationships and marriage, and you were saying that you would not be submissive to him in a relationship because if you were, then he would be getting the milk for free. You wanted to incentivize him to get married. But now you're saying, oh, no, I would be submissive to him in a relationship if he's doing for me. So you're saying two different things. Before you were saying you would not be submissive to him without a marriage because he would be getting the milk for free. That's what you said. You said the cow and the milk for free.
If you're just in a relationship with a man? Why give him wifey benefits? Usually a wife is submissive to her husband. I'm not submissive to a boyfriend. Okay. So my father and my grandmothers and my mother taught me, if I'm dating, don't give him relationship, vibes. Otherwise, he's never going to want to get you in a relationship. He's going to keep dating other people and not want to just lock you down.
But now you're saying, no, if he was nice to me, I would be submissive to him in a relationship.
Okay, in my initial comment,
they trying to trip her up. Exactly.
in the sentence for you to be able to see it. So that's why I initially came on and said within my comment, if the person is not being nice to me, that's why I was walking it back, because I could not put that in the comment like I wanted to. Like, this person's being great to me and we're being great to each other, that's no problem. But if this man's not doing anything for me,
you should
and we're
leave
not building and there's no foundation, then no, I'm not going to make his plate, because that means I'm not going to.
Lady,
but if he's not doing all of this, why are you in a relationship with him in the
period?
beginning?
Exactly.
That's why I said, obviously, we're not going to make marriage. You try to see somebody, you try to give them a little bit of a chance and try to see if you can, find out their quirks here and there. Because when you first meet somebody, you're meeting their representative. Mm-hmm. So you're giving them a little bit of time to see if they're going to remain that same type of person. And if they do, then that's when you have to step. That's why I'm not in a relationship, because I did do a lot of nice things to show this is who I am. You're meeting Chanel. You're not meeting my representative, but he doesn't know that. But I maintained doing nice things, being myself. And then I got a conversation with my mother, and she's like, well, you wonder why you may be single is because you keep giving everybody all of you, and they're not giving you marriage. So
exactly,
you need to want more out of someone to be able to become a wife. You already showing them that you're wifey material, but they're not giving you the same thing back. If they were, then we'd be on the same page. We'd still be going towards a marriage. I'd be making his plate. I'd be doing everything else, because I want to show him this is what you're going to get in preview of us getting married. But if you're not doing those things, which is what I was trying to extract on earlier, is I'm not going to make your plate. If you're not doing for me, I'm not doing for you, because that's not fair.
Got you. So if I can just kind of recap what you're saying, you were talking with your mother about why your mother believes that you might be single. And your mother is saying, listen, Chanel, it could be that you're being too nice to these men. And to be honest, the whole why buy the cow when you get the milk for free, that is something that somebody from an older generation might say, right? So
yeah.
Maybe that's where you got that from. And so now your parents are telling you to be less submissive to men and to withhold things from men so that they're not getting it too good right now and they'll have an incentive to marry you?
There you go.
You don't have to answer that question. I'll answer the question. You want answers?
Again, boyfriend, husband. Who should you be submissive with and whom? No, I'm not doing that with no boyfriend. Sorry. But in that case, he ain't getting this cow for free.
It's your boy Solo Mortal. If you've seen a number of my videos, you've heard me talk about my father at least once, right? Now, my father passed away when I was at a very young age. Now, there are several disadvantages to this, right? There are several things that I didn't learn until my late 20s, late 30s, and even my 40s that I should have learned a long time ago, right? But like I always talk about, in every situation that we call bad, there's always some good that we can extract out of that, right? And a few years ago, I realized the good that I experienced. See, I had the opportunity to be in a household with a single mother, a sister, without a leading, male figure in the house, which gave me the advantage to see women in their natural environment. I had a chance to see them date, interact with men, And I didn't realize that the whole time I was storing this information to be understood at a later time, right? So today I want to talk about how women view submission, what men need to know, and the ugly truth. Let's talk about it. Now, when we're talking about a woman submitting to a man, when we're talking about submission, period, I found that, that using that word, despite it being very accurate, I found that using that word tends to kill communication between men and women. Just because in this time, in this era, so much negative connotation or such a stigma has been placed on that word. So usually when I'm having this conversation, I tend to use the word cater. You know what I'm saying? Because it seems to open up the lines of communication better, right? And if you've ever seen that video by Destiny's Child where she's talking about catering to a man, that's complete submission. That's talking about a woman submitting to her man, right? There's a reason why I tell young brothers in their 20s, it's cool to date, man, but hold off on that long-term serious relationship. Focus on the bag, focus on your career, right? There's a reason why I tell even brothers in their 30s that, hey, if you're ready to get in a relationship or whatever, make sure you have life in order. Make sure your ducks are in a row before you go down that road, right? And the reason is this. I don't care how much swag you have. I don't care, how alpha a man is. A woman will not submit to a man unless he is a provider.
Come on
and
up.
What I mean by this
Come on
is
up,
that
girl.
When a woman comes into your life, right, this woman should be coming into your kingdom. You know what I'm saying? In other words, your life has to be in autopilot already. Your life has to be in surplus, meaning the house, the cars, the bills being paid. All that needs to be established already, right? Because if it's not, what you're really asking of that woman is to come in and be your partner. You know what I'm saying? You're asking for a partnership. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, brothers, even though partnerships are common, that's commonly what we see in today's time. In a partnership, a woman cannot and will not be submissive. Because what you're saying is you're telling a woman that I'm looking for a woman to come in and complete me, as opposed to, I'm a man that's established and I'm looking for a woman to come in and compliment me. Now, I know a lot of you brothers are going to call BS on this, right? Because I understand how you're seeing it. You're saying, I'm strong, I got a 6-pack, or I put it down in the bedroom, which is definitely a prerequisite, right? You're saying all these things about your manhood, right? But you have to understand the difference between a woman respecting you, a woman lusting you, and a woman submitting to you, right? There's a huge difference. Because this is the way women see it, right? This is how women look at it, guys. I remember when I was in the military, right? And in the military, there's a rank structure. You have your privates, you have your specialists, and then you have your sergeants, right? I remember when I was a specialist, and there was a guy that I was stationed with. He was a specialist also. And every once in a while, this brother would just walk in the room
Simone.
and just start giving everybody orders. Like, hey, you need to do this, you need to do this. And in my mind, I was like, dude, what are you doing? Or I just give him this look. Because I'm like, you do the same thing that I do. Like, who are you to come in and want some kind of special treatment? You're the same thing as me. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, when I knew that some of the officers were coming or some of the non-commissioned officers were coming, I would make sure things were in order. I would make sure everything was displayed right. I would make sure all the other soldiers beneath me were on point. And why is this? I did this because I knew these people, non-commissioned officers, were in a position to elevate me. They were in a position to promote me.
Hey,
they
baby.
were in a position to ensure that I could still provide. You know what I'm saying? So I pretty much catered to them in that situation. And this is how women are seeing it. I'm not saying I agree with it or disagree with it, because there are several things about this society that are just what they are, right? But when a man is saying, you know what, I want this woman to come in and pay half the bills. Guys, I'm not saying nothing is right or wrong with that. All I'm telling you is that to get a woman in her most feminine state, which is to submit or to cater to a man, she physically, she spiritually, she mentally can't do that if she's doing the same things of a man. Now let's pause for a sec and let's talk about a partnership relationship, because that's what most relationships look like in today's society. And I don't want anybody thinking I'm talking down on a partnership relationship, right? Because when you think about it, it's a beautiful thing. You know, two people come together, become one, and they start to build a life together, right? So they're building homes, they're buying cars, they're buying land, they're going on vacations. They have this beautiful life together. Now, there are only two things wrong with this scenario. One, you have to understand how sexual market value works, right? You have to understand that a huge part of a woman's attraction to you is based on how other women view you and how other women, desire you, right? So when you're in a position where half of all you have, half of your growth, half of your success is based on a woman being there, she subconsciously knows that if she's no longer in the picture, your world comes crumbling down, right? And that's low-key an unattractive trait. And two, you have to understand her hypergamy. Now, hypergamy is across the board. There's not a woman on the planet that's exempt from hypergamy. But the thing is this, guys, we always say that, when women are being hypergamous, they're monkey branching from guy to guy, to get the biggest bag, to get the best lifestyle. In 95% of cases, this is true. But for a small percentage of women, when women, use that hypergamous instinct inside them, really what they're looking for is the desire to be feminine. So what do I mean?
Yeah.
Contrary to popular belief, all these women we have out in corporate America, all these women we have out, getting 2 and 3 degrees, a lot of these women aren't happy. See, the thing is, a lot of these women chose to go that route strictly out of survival. Now, what I'm not saying is that women can't do it, because I know some women in corporate America that are doing, certain jobs that are going 100% and doing very well. But what I'm saying is that women aren't naturally built for that environment. You know what I'm saying? I can take a Ford Escort and I can drive a horse trailer from California all the way to Florida, but really it's not built for that. And that's all I'm saying. What several women desire is just to be a woman. What several women desire is just to be in a position to be a helpmate for a man. What several women desire is just to be able to cater to a man.
I don't know about that one.
If a woman is in a position where she has to play the role of the man, she can't do that. Now, I can easily say that it wasn't until I was in my 40s before I had experienced, what it was like to have a woman cater to me. You know what I'm saying? And to just keep it 100, I didn't even know how to accept that. You know what I'm saying? Because I lived, so long of just being me doing everything just being like, exactly how I like it.
All right, sis.
That when a woman came in and wanted to just spoil me in certain areas, I was just like, nah, I'm good. But once that woman just started doing stuff, I would just wake up, to breakfast, or if I'm sitting here doing some work and she's constantly bringing me, juices, coffees, teas, if I'm getting home from a long day of being out grinding, she's giving me back rubs and foot massages. And I'm not talking about every once in a while. I'm talking about this is daily life. You know what I'm saying? And when a man is in that position, he has no choice but to reciprocate, to try to give a woman the good things in life. Because what that woman has done, it's freed up so much stuff in his life. It's freed up so many stresses. So now he's in a position where he has more time to grind, more time to grow and expand as a man.
This holiday season, give the gift of Grubhub.
Hey, Booski.
Hey, Booski. Hey, chat people. How y'all doing?
So, the topic is do you submit to your boyfriend or your husband?
Okay. First of all, a boyfriend ain't getting those privileges. Okay, on point one. Now, a husband still not getting those privileges. And what I mean by that is, for example, look at Waiting to Exhale. She was there with him through school, did everything for him, was his wife, raised the kids, and he went out and got somebody else. Now, if you're going to talk about being submissive, why can't the man be submissive? Why can't the man not have another woman and cheat on the side? Because that's what they want the woman to do when they say be submissive. As Method Man say, don't give out away. That's what he mean. He mean keep my stuff at home.
Keep it tight, all right?
Yeah. He mean don't be letting everybody up in it. But meanwhile, he out in the street and got 3-4 women on the side, maybe an extra family, a baby mama. So for me in 2021, 2022, I would not dare tell a woman to submit to a man. I don't care if he is your husband. I've been married twice, so I know what I'm talking about. Because if it's just the sex, you might as well stay single.
I believe I don't believe in submission. I believe if you respect me, I respect you.
Exactly. Definitely respecting, but not submissive.
Right. Because what am I submitting to?
Exactly.
Like, what is your meaning? Because cooking, okay, I cook. I clean.
And he can do that too.
Yeah, and some cook better than the women. Knock yourself out.
And he got 2 hands. Listen, it's a difference. This is not 1940, not 1950. Because some women are out here doing more than the men anyway. They take care of the house, bringing home the bacon. They're making more than the men. And you want me to still be submissive? Oh, you out your whole mind.
But sis, even then, the woman always had a side hustle.
Exactly.
Either she baked cookies, she baked cakes, she went out, she washed clothes, she ironed clothes. Okay, Rara, I'm not gonna deal with you. Burns is because
being submissive is a state of being, not an act.
She said
a state of being what? Stupid?
No, he said.
Come on now.
No, first he said you was delusional. And
then wait, let me go back up. I didn't see that.
Yeah,
Why? Listen, honey. Wait, hold up.
I said I ain't got to handle this. You got it.
Yeah, let's get into this. First of all,
you got it, girl.
No one is being delusional because fact. Have you been married twice? On point one, let's go there. So I know exactly what I'm talking about. And if I'm too loud, let me know because I'm on a different phone. And the man on the camera, he said he want a woman to complete him. First of all, I'm not completing you. You're a person. You should have came to me complete. Don't come to me broken because I'm not trying to repair you.
And
hello,
you're submissive or you're masculine. Go ahead, get him, girl.
Right. Okay, but guess what? Sometimes women have to be masculine because the men out here ain't nothing. Or some of these men out here on the DL, but they marrying a woman. Don't get me started. I got a whole lot for you, boo. Come on now. Listen.
Then now he's trying to be cute. Why are you no longer married?
Like, I am married, boo. I said this is my second marriage. My first marriage ended in a death. My husband passed away. Boom. Look, don't play with me. Look, if we're gonna keep it real, we're gonna keep it real. being submissive is not only about what he said, it's about a state of being. No, it's not. It's also about a man telling the woman you can't go out with your girlfriends. Oh, all your girlfriends are hoes because they sleep around. That don't mean you sleep around.
And if you ain't,
they want you to stay home with the kids. Meanwhile, the kids got to go to soccer and basketball practice. But where you at? You out there hanging with your homeboys, having a good time at the club. We not being that submissive, boo. No. And I would not tell any woman to be submissive to a man. This is not 1940s. It's supposed to be equal and respectful and trustful. And that's a lot of things a lot of relationships don't have today is trust. If you know that you can trust your man or woman, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Why do they need to be submissive?
It seems like more and more. It's like these men are whining to have their cake and eat it too. Exactly. Submission is respectful cooperation.
Exactly.
Why wouldn't you get that from your woman anyway? Majority of women who be with their men, they do that anyway. They just don't have a name to it, but they do it. They respect their man. They cook for their man. They clean their man. They sex the man. I'm like, well, damn, well, what else do you want?
Exactly. You want it all, but you don't want to give it all. That's right, Miss Ride or Die. And it's like, I feel for your husband. Run, bro. He don't need to run, baby. The door is wide open. He can leave anytime he wants. I never beg a man to stay. Never. Ever. Husband or not, here's the keys, get out. Point blank, period. I would never. Just like you couldn't tell me to stay. If I don't want to be with you no more, I'm gone. Deuces. This is why women need to have their own. So when that man act up and think he doing something, baby, you got $1 million sitting in the bank. Bye, Nucka. Look.
And why do you feel for her husband? You feel for
exactly.
Man. You should tell who does that. These men these days, they want
the woman to sit there and do everything while they're not doing. Okay, I'm being submissive, but are you being submissive? No, you're not. So if we're going to be submissive, we're both going to be submissive. Just because he give you a 2-3 carat diamond ring, don't mean you got to be there. Okay, let's take basketball wives for instance. Some of them women are very, very delusional, since you want to use that word. Only because the man has all this money and you got the fabulous life. Yeah, but he's treating you like a dog. Most likely he's beating you. Most likely he's beating you. He's degrading you. And you want me to be submissive to that? You punch me in my face, give me a black eye, and then you want to lay with me and tell my baby, I love you. Let's have sex. I'm not that submissive, boo. No way.
And then I'm not submissive because love is supposed to be unconditional. And and then for you to be with me, you got too many conditions. That's not love. Like, I want this. No, you do that in the office. Love is, you're supposed to accept people for the way they are. And then a lot of times men like rah-rah, like, you too old for that.
Yes, Miss Ride or Die. You see what she said? She said he want a slave.
You too old for that name rah-rah anyway. Too old for the name Ray. I sound more like a Pookie or a Ray Ray. I'm gonna call you Ray Ray, right? So Ray Ray says,
"What do you mean? I'm fearful? Fearful of what, honey? I ain't fearful of anything. But because this is the problem. Men think
when you're happy, other men don't like to see They don't like to see happy relationships.
Right.
So exactly. That's why they always worrying about the next man. When that man, your husband is worrying about you, he ain't worrying about the next man. So another man should be worrying about his woman and not the next man. They just can't seem to understand why they so happy and why that woman can speak and have a brain. And they make it like we all aliens or something for being happy. Or that man.
I just said this the other day. Women get lost when they get married and they got a ring and they got a man and they got a house and a car. But baby, you was somebody before you was somebody mama and before you was somebody wife. Who were you? Who were you before you became all that?
I say the same thing all the time.
And you lose yourself. Some of us lose ourselves and get caught up being submissive. And then when he leave you for that younger other color person, the clear person. Now you sitting there looking like Boo Boo the fool.
You know what?
But you were submissive though. You were submissive.
No, we are wrong, sis. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna go back. We're gonna tell our kids after 3rd grade, quit school. don't have no dreams. Don't want to do nothing in life, and train them how to be a wife, because that's what it sounds like to me. What they trying to do, which them days are over.
This ride or die, you need to come up. Yeah, she said he wants a weak woman. A needy woman. Look, exactly. And I ain't needing nobody that much. I don't care who you is, husband or not. You don't even need your parents like that. Because guess what? If mama and daddy want to cut you off and don't give you no money, what you gonna do? You got to get out there and get your own, right?
What it is they're not confident within themselves, so they need women to boost their ego, because they can't get it from white zaddy. Even if they do have a good job, they still have they still have to answer to zaddy.
Yeah. Look at Miss Ride or Die. She said, I was that woman. I lost my identity when I was married. Whoever this Rah Brown is, you're not hurting my feelings. You're not even offending me.
Wait.
No, he's not even offending me because he doesn't know me. He's talking about fearful of being left for a younger woman. Baby, I get little boys. I get little boys. Let's get this clear. Baby, I get little boys. Okay? Don't play. So I'm not fearful of anything. Let's get this straight. You're not talking to no child here. I'm a grown woman. You do not offend me whatsoever.
Pookie, Ray. No one. You can't hurt after her husband. Her husband gonna be laid up tonight.
Surely is.
And tomorrow night, and the next night, and every other night. Oh God, now we got other.
You can't hurt my feelings, honey. You don't know me, and I don't know you. I'm not hurt or offended. But your comments is disrespectful. Now that's a difference.
Ask my co-host if she's cooperative. Why y'all worried about her husband? Y'all want him? Do y'all want her husband?
You better go, girl.
God damn.
I love it.
Damn, your man on the market.
Wait a minute. Let me get you all the way straight, Rah Brown or Ray Brown, whatever your name is. Yes, I am somebody's wife twice. I done told you that. What did you not understand?
Wait, when did this take place? Oh my, they're coming.
He said, and you're somebody's wife, question mark.
Yes.
At 8:12.
That is, that's as funny as
anybody that knows me know I am very strong and independent, honey. Because gotta remember, after my husband died, I was somebody before I met my new husband. So, boo, let's get this straight. I'm always gonna be keeping me first, husband, kids, or anybody. The only one that's above me is God.
Their egos are bruised. They have no ego. So they need somebody. Whatever would you like? Whatever would you like? Bark, man. Listen.
Because he said, why are you getting little boys? I'm not saying I'm getting little boys, meaning in a relationship with them. You said that I was afraid of my husband leaving me for a younger person. Because, baby, no. Let's get this straight. Little boys, young men that I have to tell, baby, no, I'm a grown woman. Because I look young, I'm not a child. Yes, I make some of these 20, 30-year-olds look bad. Yes, I do. So don't play with me. Let's get it straight.
See, Dante Adams, I told you she keeps herself first. And
damn right. Damn right. Because I'm not submissive.
But at the end of the day, you still doing something right. He ain't going nowhere.
He ain't going nowhere. I'm not even worried.
And then you can't say he a beta, because believe me, B, what you saying right now to his wife, if her husband was here, you'll be checked.
Oh, yes, he would.
You'll be checked.
He from where we from. You know that already, Sugar Love. He from where we from, and you know how they play. Okay.
So I bet he has other options. Yeah, it's whatever name she call herself at a different time of night. That's
when I put on that different wig and I put on different lipstick and I put on different hair, those are his other options. Show is.
That's his other option.
I'm every woman, baby.
But
I'm every woman.
I guarantee you, they would not say this in your husband's face.
No, they wouldn't. They would be on the ground.
They all come at women with this, which I am totally amused with them because they really make me laugh. That's why I don't get them out of here, because sometimes it's like really funny how they come at women. But if you just want to say, yo, hon, the boo, read what these men are saying to me. That man be ready to find you. Right, Ray Ray?
Well, I got two things for Ray Ray. One is, where's your man? I mean, woman. Let's get this straight. Okay, that's one. And two, if he was with his other option, baby, she must be downstairs because he right not even 10 feet from me. So let's get this clear. Every night we lay down, our head hit the pillow together.
See, these men like saying that, and they forget some of these men, some of these women got men, and they hit, and y'all hand game ain't better. Y'all act like y'all hand game is good. Y'all all mouth.
Mm-hmm.
If your woman was right with you making salmon, but you whining about her man, something don't look right here.
Yeah,
something ain't right.
And
with
that's good. I'm glad you have a woman. That means she must be submissive to you. Is that correct? So if she's submissive to you, why are you worried about everybody else's wife not being submissive? You shouldn't have a problem. You should be like, my woman does everything I want for me. I tell her, dog, kiss my foot, jump how high, she do it. So you should be happy. You up here coming at me. I came up here to talk to my girl. You the one in the chat got an issue. I don't have a problem. I am not a submissive woman, and I will not be a submissive woman. So if you have a submissive woman, you good. You coming at me.
You know, Ms. Rod crazy. Ms. Rod said you want to spank him for being in grown folks chat.
Exactly.
I'm helping my community stay together. We not in your community. What are you talking about? We together. I got mine. She got hers. We together. We productive. The kids are happy. The community's happy.
Okay, now, Carolyn, I hear you, boo. I hear you, boo. My husband is a cook. Let's get this straight. He's a cook by trade, but he doesn't cook right now as for work. But I don't have to worry about cooking at all. So yeah.
And you know that's one of my rules. You must be able. You must be a cook.
Who wants a man, a husband? Because this is just something that I think. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong. If a mother doesn't train her son how to take care of things, what happens if the son's wife gets sick? He not gonna know how to cook because he so submissive wife don't know how to do nothing, right? So I trained my son how to cook, clean. He know how to do everything. He take care of a house. He braid his girl's hair. He do everything. So
no, now the co-husband is cooking homemade stew. Y'all crazy.
Come on, ladies. Come on, ladies.
You know my chat never loses, right? The chat always wins. I don't know why people don't understand. My chat always wins.
And another thing, let me say this. It's not about being submissive to your boyfriend or husband, but if you just meet them and you only been with them 6 months, baby, you don't need to be letting it hit the bottom of nothing. Let's get that clear.
No, you sad. You been around Kitten Hill too much. You been around Kitten Hill Samuels too much. And y'all got this unrealistic thing of making women be fake and phony because ain't not near none of them happy. There's nothing materialistic ever a man can give me that will make me not be myself.
Hello? Tell him, girl.
So all of that femininity, I'm feminine by nature. Whether you like it or not, I'm feminine by nature. Every month, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm feminine.
Okay, I don't know what you mean. Who is Dante Adams? He said, so you're not submissive, so you run the house. Don't know what you mean by that. It's an equal partnership, baby. Don't nobody run no one. It's equal over here.
Carolyn said, my son cooked breakfast this morning. He's home from college. Yes,
congratulations.
Yes. I tell y'all people, my chat never loses. You're lucky. Where Chrissy at? Chrissy was up in here.
You just met a man and you only been with him for 6 months. First of all, he don't get the privilege and he doesn't have the right for you to be submissive. You're still getting to know him. And you're not even considering marriage. So after 2 or 3 years, you know him, he know you. I still say you should not live with them. You should have your own, but we know that happens. So if you're going to do that, then there needs to be rules in the house beforehand. This is why some of these young girls have these men and they be touching their kids because they don't have rules. Listen, you're not coming in my house and being in my house with my kids by yourself. I don't care how much we dating. It's rules to everything. It's rules to life. That don't mean that you have to. So you submissive to him. When you gonna be submissive to your kids?
This is what they always say. So it won't be 50-50 when a burglar breaks in. First of all, that if the man is at work and I'm here by myself, we handles ourselves. If a burglar break in, if a man is not always home, a woman got to know how to handle that. Okay,
Dante, I don't know what era you from, but that is untrue. Shit. Because some of you men can't lead a damn cat, and some of y'all have us homeless. Because listen, baby, I'm gonna make sure we not on the street. So not all men are able to. There are millionaires, basketball players, football players that don't even know how to run the household. Guess who runs it? The woman runs it. The woman pays the bill. Ask them who's the name of their mortgage company. They probably don't know. Who the name of the car insurance? They probably don't know. So don't tell me that.
Sad? You know what's so sad? This is why I laugh at them. Because nobody says, they speak upon submissive so much. You never hear the word love.
Mm-hmm.
You never hear the word love. Like, you know.
Because they want a pet. They don't want.
Exactly. They don't want love. They want a pet. Exactly. A human being pet. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Sis. Well said. Well said. Well said. High five.
That's right, Carolyn. I was going to say that. Smith & Wesson, honey, is right there in the corner. Don't play. You're never alone. Yes, Carolyn.
And Nicole said, right, tell them, sis. All this if a man lead us. How you gonna lead a grown ass woman? Like, when do we ever get a chance to be grown? Calvin sound masculine. Go away. Cap. Oh shit. Oh shit. Well, you go knock on her door and tell her that. You knock on her door. That's why y'all want some fake little pets, darling. And then them are the women that cook every night, and then their husband don't even come home every night. But when you finish doing what you're doing, I'll leave it in the microwave for you whenever you decide to come in. Love, Pookie, Ray Ray. Ray. Why people sound masculine? People think like because they call a female masculine, like so, so, and like it's a bad thing to have masculine tendencies. What? And a lot of young women would like to be masculine too, but they want that they want some of they let the material things you get them cloud their judgment.
I do want to say this though, Sugar Love. I know this is your chat, but Rara, look, you can say whatever you want. Everyone has their own opinion, but you have to be respectful, honey. You're not being respectful. You're talking about Carolyn Merrily. You sound masculine. Go away, please. Why should she go away?
She'll snipe. No, they're being nice. No. Them snipers snipe your ass. They just playing with him because they would put him in a closet in a heartbeat and snipe.
Yes, Carolyn. Good one. I like her. Is Rara a troll or he's somebody in your chat?
Girl, they be fine. They come into all these type of things with this male stuff. Them Kitten Hills people. But my people in here now.
And who is this Dante Adams? He said, you speak about men as a collective, so is your husband an exception to the rule? Who are you talking to, me or Sugar Love?
He talking to himself.
Carol, the coolest person in this chat, chill, brother. Exactly. Like, Rah, welcome to the closet.
I told you they don't play.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be disrespectful, but I'm gonna say my point of view.
And honey,
you're not gonna tell me how to talk and think now. Let's hold that right there.
You fam. We go back almost 2 years. So if you want them to snipe somebody, all you gotta do is say the word snipe. We are the snipers for a reason.
Carolyn said, I don't know, but he got 300 seconds to think about it. You're talking to me, Dante? Okay. So, yes, he is an exception, honey, because he knows how to tame the queen when the queen needs to be tamed, okay? He knows how to check me when I need to be checked. But most of the time, there's not a lot of checking, honey, because we are equal partners in everything. I'm not going to tell somebody they can stay at my house. Oh, yeah, my husband don't mind. Oh, no. You need to talk to him because he already know I'm going to say no. And I already know he going to say no. So when you're with somebody for so long, you guys kind of like think alike. So we on that path right now. So this is an unbreakable thing here. We going to get mad. Yes, we going to argue. We going to have our little thing. Yeah. But ain't nobody going nowhere. Just make that clear. No one's going anywhere. You mad? Go lay on the couch. Have a several seats, sir.
This is what I was telling Sissy, Brown Girl Bella. I said because I'm turning this channel into a strictly panel channel. So get used to coming on a panel.
Good.
Get used to coming on a panel. Every time they see something, then you know they're gonna try to flag it with their little feminine self. Yeah. But they're not but feminine men. So a feminine man needs a feminine woman. So he could feel masculine. Because I'm masculine by nature. What?
Of course. You know where we're from, of course.
You know exactly.
We have to be strong and stand up for ourselves.
From the streets that we walked on. Shit.
So let me say this. If you walking down the street and a man says, "Hey, baby," and you don't respond, or you just say, "Hi, how you doing?" and walk away. Oh, let me have your number. No, thank you. I'm not interested. I'm dating. I have a boyfriend. Then they want to grab you and beat you up. So now you're supposed to be submissive to that. So what are you saying? This is my body. You can't grab me off the street because you like what you see. So am I supposed to just say okay and let him do what he want? We're not that submissive over here, boo. You might get a black eye.
She said, well, we already know you masculine by nature, Caroline. We know that already. We know you is masculine by nature.
Yes, Carol. And it's not even being masculine. It's standing on your morals and your grounds. And some of us are more strongly can say what we mean. There are some women that are really catty and shy. Oh, no. Well, that's not me. I'm going to look.
Yeah, but them the ones that are
argument. Oh, we going blow for blow, toe to toe.
No, but them the ones that are poisoning you, though. I would rather have one that's verbal.
Okay. Shut up.
Oh, okay. 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 But you know what I mean?
So true. So true. So true, girl.
Hey, Charlene, them the ones, oh, I made a special dinner for you.
Yes, Charlene. I would go off and cuss him out. Listen. And
hey,
where I am from, I'm gonna be real. I'm being honest. I'm very transparent. Anybody know? You know me. If we had a man that was kind of shy, we would eat him up. We would eat him alive. We need someone that's gonna check us when we need to be checked. But before all that, he loved the mess out of us. He loved our dirty drawers, as they used to say. Okay.
Damn, I had that a long time.
Okay, listen. You know that's your man. You know you and him can argue, but you better not let nobody else argue with you.
But see, these men talking about what are you gonna do if a burglar come in? I ain't never seen you fight, ninja. How I know your hand game is good? First of all, you know how many Bonnie always want to Clyde and the best every time a man went down is because of another man, never because of their woman.
Tracy. So yes, ma'am, you wait until I invite you to my body. Exactly. Carolyn said you better say that because they be in the kitchen making pissy potatoes. What? Oh no, Rah-Rah's back. Admit you're masculine, but you time me out when I say it. So how confused you women are. Okay, Rara, again, you're trying to confuse somebody and trip them up. It's not gonna work.
Put his ass back in the closet. I ain't saying nothing. I don't never tell my chat what they know exactly what to do. Oh no, the heavy hitters are coming in. Oh shit, Ray, you in trouble now. We got Truly Race up in here. Ooh.
Woo.
Ooh.
It's no drama. It's just speaking your mind, James. It's not drama. Because I don't do drama, baby. Because I'll tell you what I think of you and I'm gone. And I still love you.
Did James say let Rara come up?
Yeah, he did. But I
You've been sipping? You've been sipping, James? We done heard enough of him. And we got the fuckery channel for stuff like that. Now, you notice that she said have a good night. So you know what that means, right?
Yep. Out of here.
That means you're blocked. Now she put you in the closet. Now she blocked you.
Whoop.
So you go find somebody else chat that's gonna hear. It's crazy. You can't get rid of these freaking men. They all around and crazy and deranged. And you have to agree with everything they say. Then they got these grooming ass women. They got women now that's vetting out these women, grooming these women, grooming these young girls to get them ready for these narcissistic men. Which
going out here getting fake body parts. Mine are real, honey, and they are heavy. And I don't know why you would want to spend money to go get that on purpose. That's one. But then you do that, then you get the man and he leave you and go with the next girl that got 5 centimeters more. But you were submissive to him though, right? See, you went and got the implants up and down, but now he done left you. So now who you gonna be submissive to? And now they talking about you because they're like, oh yeah, I had her. Yeah, but she was submissive to you. You have to know who you are as a person. You are not here for a man's pleasure, period.
And them women go to bed crying every night.
Exactly. You are not here for a man's pleasure only. You have a brain and you have free will. They deserve respect because they will die protecting women. That makes no sense. They still have to protect themselves. Who is Charlene and Samson? Entertainment. Tracy said, my marriage is 50-50. Yes, it's on bills, on kids, on teaching, housework, cleaning. Exactly. It is a partnership, Tracy. That's what I said. And see, if you don't, your kids will run over you and they'll play mommy against daddy. Oh, no, baby. We both the bad cop over here. Bad cop over here. We both the bad cop because we already know.
And
kids will try you. Kids will try you.
I know. Make sure if you're not subscribed to either one of our channels, we will be dropping our links in the channel. Make sure you are subscribed to me and my Booski channel. She has a great channel herself. We will be dropping links up in there. Make sure you definitely subscribe here and hit that bell. But people just hate to see people happy. And these men now, they're looking, they think that they looking masculine, but they're looking feminine, going around all day long picking arguments with females.
I know that's right, Tracy.
Hey, uppity. What Tracy say?
Tracy, I totally agree, girl. I'll be saying the same thing. I'll be saying the same thing. Oh, no,
I'm getting rid of these things, girl. These things got to go. Tracy, I'll meet you. Yeah, you could come up. Uppity.
Wait, who is that?
Uppity.
You know who that is?
Uppity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But so your boys, Samuel, what's his name? Samuel something.
Kevin Samuels, but I call him Kevin Hills.
So this is my thing with him, and I was on the panel. I don't know if you know him, Sir Ism. I don't know if you know him. You ever heard of him?
Who?
Sir Ism.
Sir Ism?
Yeah.
No, but I have to learn him now.
Okay. So I was on his channel and we were talking, and I was talking about Kevin Samuels, and I said, the thing that me personally, no one else do not like about him is he always downgrades the black woman. That's one thing I don't like about him. Then the way he cuts them off and tries to make them seem like they're unintelligent, I don't like that. And then the next thing I said to Sir Ism was, well, for him to be coming at women like that, he must want to be a woman. Maybe he's not straight. Why are women always saying a man's not straight because most of the time they're not. Most of the time they're on the DL. Because most of the time you mad at me because I got on these pretty earrings because you can't wear them. Like, what is your deal? Like, why are you down? And I know his channel is the bomb. He has millions and millions and millions, but it's not for me. And I'm not going there. I'm not subscribed to him. I've seen his channel maybe 3 times and he turned me off all 3 times.
And then he goes into a hissy fit.
Are inappropriate
to a temper tantrum if you don't agree with him.
Exactly. Very, very inappropriate for how he talks about black women. And this is my thing. Didn't you come from a black woman? You came into this world through a black woman's canal, baby. You should be honoring any black woman. But he always puts the black woman down, and that gets my goat with him. Because I said, if you got the most intelligent woman, you talking about you the alpha male and all that. There's alpha females, baby.
And then you know the part that kills me? We don't care about your degrees. We don't care. First of all, nobody asked you to care about my degree, damn it. I do. I do. Number one, by me getting a degree, that tells you I'm a hard worker and I'm dedicated. And when I start something, I finish.
Tracy said, not that fool again. Yes. And Uppity said he's going to come from his other channel. Do you know what that is?
She said she's coming from her other channel.
Uppity is a lady?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't.
Goddess.
I didn't even look at the last word. Carolyn said, we call KS kitten heels. Yes, honey. Tracy said, but he won't talk to us older women. Girl, yes, Tracy. Let him talk to me or Sugar Love or maybe you ladies, because we can hold our own. You're not going to sit up here and try to down degrade me, because he be degrading them. And I'm like, girl, say something. Like, hold you.
And then somebody got mad at me, sis, because I was trying to explain to the little young boy. For some reason, he think he's my age, but he's young. But he think he's my age. I like the kid, but he's a little bit too far into that madness. He's too young to be far in that madness. But my thing is, number one, you ain't gonna put no number on me. What are you? Start with 7 or better. Fuck, I'm a 10. No, that's Beyonce. That's Rihanna. No. There's no way I'm gonna leave this earth and go to my maker and not be.
Carol said he don't want to talk to women that are married either. What?
Right? Okay. I'm never gonna tell my maker I'm not a 10. When I leave this earth, do you know how many things are wrong with people, and I was born with nothing wrong with me? You think I'm not going to say a 10?
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hello.
How are you? And hi, chat. But V, I have a question for you. I don't even know who you are. So why would you ask that question? Do you know what that is? I just want to ask you that. I'm not trying to,
Do I know who is?
Me, because you asked her, do she know who I am? And I don't even know who you are. So what was the point of that question?
She didn't.
Wait, I asked you know who?
No, V was like, remember I was like, can I come up? This is Uppity. I said,
I was asking Sugar if she knew you, because sometimes we get a lot of trolls in our chat.
Yeah, trolls in.
Oh, okay. No,
and another guy was just here and asked to come up, and I'm like, do you know?
Oh, I got no offense. She had somebody on her stage before called Dr. Amira. She thought it was cool, but that's neither here nor there.
I'm a
it's nice.
No, but ladies, are we talking about narcissistic men today?
No, we're talking about submission. Do you give submission to your boyfriend or your husband?
Yeah, because a man that requires submission, he got to be a narcissistic. Because people, when you get in a relationship, the best thing to do is go with people that have the same mindset. So it's not submission is not a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
It's just how you gonna roll. So therefore, y'all both had characteristics that y'all both like about each other, and y'all know the dynamic.
You went out, Uppity.
Oh, yep, she went out.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, she's a Harlem night.
Yeah, I'm
pick up.
Harlem in the house. Yes. But yeah, I want to tell black women that the only thing you have to do is find a man on the same path as you, and therefore there's no need for submission. If your ideal role is to be traditional, you would seek men that want that role. If your idea is to be independent, you would probably seek out men who want that as well, whether it be 50-50 or they be the house husband, because some women want men to stay at home with their kids, because all of us are at the end of the day, we are all in maternal. Some maternal instincts want us to stay at home with our kids. Some maternal instincts want us to have somebody that we know and trust with our kids, whether that be your baby father, your husband, all the niece that you know who parents abandoned them. So now she got a place to call home, and you got somebody that you trust with your kid. You know what I'm saying? Everything is different for people. So only thing I would encourage black women to do is just any woman, just do what's best for you.
But don't forget who you are. Before you were married, you were a person. Before you had that baby, before you was a mama, you were a person. And this is the thing when women get submissive, but is the man being submissive? Most of the time, he's not. Most of the time,
you're right.
He's out here with 4-5 other people, women or men. Let's keep it real. This is 2021.
Or trannies who think they women, but go ahead.
they be with other people, but they want you at home being submissive, cooking and cleaning, and when they come home, they want to, have sex with you, beat you up, and tell you they love you while you got a black eye and have sex. I'm not being that submissive. We're not doing that over here.
No. See, that's domestic violence. That's the difference between submissive and domestic violence. That's straight up domestic violence.
No,
so
but
I think we have to differentiate.
They be slapping the mess out their woman just if their voice even go a little bit.
And there's some women that go to work, pay all the bills, and come home and get slapped up.
Shut up, girl. We just said that. Come on now. We just said that.
So there's a difference. Like that's why I said we have to make the difference between abusive men in our life and men that are controlling, because controlling is not good, you know what I'm saying? But there's different degrees of it. But at the end of the day, anybody, man, woman, female, or child, they're gonna take advantage where they can see fit. And we should all learn that.
Now, let me give you
I hate to talk in this aspect, but because not all women are moms or even desire that. You know what I'm saying? So I only can speak from my perspective, but please take out kids sometimes or whatever the case may be. See my baby in the background. Dr. Mira in the background talking shit. Trust me, go ahead.
Let me give you this scenario. And people in the chat can chime in. And I was so pissed. And I don't get pissed often. It takes a lot to get me upset. It was a young girl. She couldn't have been more than maybe 22. Maybe not even that. She might have been younger. She was sitting in the chair, and the boyfriend came in. He pulled a gun out, and he shot it in the wall. The bullet hit the wall, and she was like, "What are you doing?" Meanwhile, she laughing, got her hand over her mouth, and he said, "Tell me you're going to have my baby. Tell me you're going to have my baby, or else I'm going to shoot you now." She laughing and giggling. Stop. He told her, "Be quiet before you wake up the neighbors. You just shot in the damn wall. And you asking me if I'm going to have your baby? Fool, no."
Just like that man who just killed both baby mamas.
He literally was so submissive to him. And I'm like, girl, no, we're not doing that over here.
Can I ask you ladies a question? Because I don't desire a YouTube channel. But if I did, I listen to a lot of story times from young black women. And me, myself, I didn't desire Pookie and Ray Ray. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't appealing to me because their pockets couldn't match. And I just seen too many videos. My grandma showed me videos like you could literally, at that time, you could literally just be sitting on a car and that you didn't even know had drugs on the bed, and you could be in jail for the next 40 to 50 years. So, and my grandmother showed me all those videos. So Pookie and Ray Ray couldn't even say hi to me without me catching an attitude, because I'm like, oh, you trying to get me locked the fuck up? Get the fuck away from me. Exactly. So anyway, I read it. I don't read. I watch a lot of story times. And if you know that, I'm not sure if y'all watch or not, but a lot of the girls' story time that are most popular among Black women, I don't get to see their statistic. I'm just going by what the comments. I can tell Black women from white. These young girls are between the ages of, I'll say, like 20 to 26.
Mm-hmm.
And all they got is story time after story time of dating Pookie and Ray Ray. And to this day, they can't figure out why they did certain things in the past. Like they know something's wrong with what they did in the past, and they still sit there and be like, in the middle of the story time, they be like, oh, I don't know why I kept dealing with him though. Why did I keep dealing with him though? So my thing is for Black women, with older Black women with channels that hopefully your goal is to reach out to younger Black women. What do you think the disconnect is, and why this message ain't reaching out? Because I feel like y'all be having some good stories and stuff, but how do we reach that to the youth who most need the lesson, and they don't have to tell a story like we do?
I'll let Sugar Love answer, and then I'll go behind it.
I was thinking about it the opposite way.
Oh, that's okay. You know, I got it.
For me, I do boots on the footwork, and I deal with youth directly. Now, far as if they're gonna watch the channel, you gotta hope they find your channel.
Right, that's what I know. You do boots on the footwork, because you had corrected me last on Sugar, and I don't want you pulling out your receipts again. I know you do pussy.
Oh my goodness!
Sugar work do books on the bookwork, and she got receipts out the ass. If you try to question her, trust me, I see things. But I'm talking about as far as like the YouTube engagement, because some of these channels I fall across, I guess, because like I say, like and subscribe. And it's true, I guess, because some of these story time, I don't know how they fall into my algorithm, because I don't be checking for these stories.
I got a story time channel.
If you're watching that, it comes up, and they basically watch whatever you're looking at, and then
this is what I'm trying to tell you. I don't even be watching these things. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I created a story time channel, or it's all story time. I just created a story time.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna get the link in the chat so I can follow it, because I want to see your story time. You from New York? I know you got some good stories. I ain't bold enough to put my story.
I ain't telling my stories, girl.
Oh,
okay. I told some of my stories.
It's a story time channel.
Yeah,
not my stories. I don't do personal on internet. Like little casual.
But no, you know, sometimes you're not giving personal information. You're just giving like code names and stuff. Like they have to know you to know.
I'm not doing none of the above.
I think that's what it is. Maybe we too secretive, but I just want to know how we on YouTube reach other women, like younger women, because I see so many women identifying with these girls, even though they passed that stage, they don't know why they went through the process. So to me, they bound to repeat it again. You know,
I think it depends on the topics too. Maybe. First of all, they gotta acknowledge that they want our help. They have to acknowledge that they want to learn from the older person. They have to acknowledge that the blind, especially when I watch like that 13 and pregnant, 14 and pregnant. The way they talk is like, oh yeah, and I told my homegirl and my girlfriend. I'm like, oh, these are two 12-year-olds. What the hell?
Oh no, see, ain't no story time for 12-year-olds. I watch it, but I'm saying these young women are like 20, like I said, to 26, and they literally are asking they chat like, what? Because they'll say story time like, and the things that they're talking about is so obvious, like he's using you, he's playing you, and some certain things they were like, okay, because I was young, but then they were like, that's the excuse they give, but they don't understand the total meaning. They just put it up to like, okay, because we know black men are predators mostly. They'll be like 40 dating an 18-year-old, you know? And a lot of these girls, they'll talk about their story times, how they didn't want to date them. And then the ones that did, they did it for monetary support. But I'm talking about the ones they was actually attracted to, and they feel like that was like the last story time I listened to, I think she said she was 18 and he was 29. And she said she didn't feel like it was that much of a difference. But actuality, that's a big difference. You know, legally, technically, it was legal, but, you know, that's disgusting. And then the thing, and then she was saying how basically the guy wound up being bisexual because she said she was in between dating people. And she told him that. So she said the guy that she was dating basically left her and wouldn't respond to her calls no more. So she called the guy that was constantly always there for her. And even when she went to visit him, he wasn't like trying nothing sexually with her. So she said the last time she hit him up, he basically asked her, has she ever had a threesome? Mind you, she was dating another 20-something-year-old. This is another 20-something-year-old man. And she said, no, I didn't. Why would you ask me that? And she said, I should have saw it as a red flag, but I didn't. She's 18. And she said, I would have seen it at 18, but she didn't. But she said she went over there, and she's from LA, which is another like fast city life. She said, I went over there, and then she was like, well, when I went over there, he was telling me that his friend was in town, and he brought up the threesome again. He's like, so basically, I was asking you about that because my friend is in town. I want to show him a good time. Have you ever had two guys eat you out at the same time?
Oh, girl, that is way off topic. But
no, I'm not gonna go further than this.
But
and then she said no, and she did it. And then she said after that, two guys. Because she said she rolled over after that because one was in the front, one was in the back. And she said she rolled over after that. She said when she was finally able to regain her composure, they was kissing each other and humping each other. I'm like, duh. You know what I'm saying? But she said that she answered his call the next week and she don't know why. Even though she ultimately got proof.
I don't know if we can help her. But
But these are the type of stories you're gonna get because these young girls are getting taken advantage of by these confused men.
No, I don't mind the topic. But we have to be on the topic.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah, I don't mind the different topic. I just put you on mute for a second. I don't mind the topics, but we have to be on the topic to be in the topic. Now, this one is don't accept mediocrity from anyone.
I'm back. Okay, so today I'm coming at you with a little quick inspirational spiritual video. I want to talk about
being that we were speaking of submission, I wanted to add this in there.
Self-sabotaging. A lot of people self-sabotage themselves and their relationships. And y'all know it's true. It's kind of like you've been through so much already that you try to beat the person to hurting you. So you kind of sabotage the relationship and do something wrong so they don't do it to you first. And a lot of people also sabotage themselves with negative thoughts before they even get off the couch. They've decided, okay, I want to do this. And then they talk themselves out of it in 2 seconds. Well, maybe I shouldn't because this, and that, you know. So why did you even think to do it in the first place if you were just going to say, well, never mind, I'm not going to do it. Negative thoughts and self-sabotage go hand in hand. If you're a person that worries a lot and have a lot of negative thoughts, chances are you probably have a lot of bad luck. Chances are when things go wrong, they go really wrong. Chances are a lot of people see you as a negative person and they don't want to be around you because you bring them down. And a lot of these people are very unaware of that. And they just think that, you know, they just have bad luck. People don't like them. And that, you know, they just get the worst of it. And they've accepted that. And when you accept that, you're letting it come in even more, and that's not good. So what you need to do is the opposite. You need to encourage yourself instead of sabotage yourself. You need to think of reasons why you will make it or why you should do something versus why you can't or why you shouldn't. You need to actually tell yourself, I'm good at what I do. I know I can do it. I don't care what other people think. I know. When you self-encourage instead of self-sabotage, you are actually moving way ahead. You're taking steps towards your goal. When you self-sabotage, you're taking steps away from your goal. So if you have a goal or destination that you're trying to get to, only encouragement of self, belief in self, knowledge of self, and a positive attitude will get you there. Everything else is you're just going to go backwards. So in regular terms, what I'm saying is stop making excuses for yourself. Think positive. Think about what you do want instead of what you don't want. Okay? Stop worrying about things. Why? Because it doesn't help at all. Do something that's going to fix it. If you're going to worry about something, worry about the solution. Figure out the solution to the problem. Don't dwell on the problem. A lot of people have terrible lives just because of their thinking. I have come across some people in real life and online that their thinking is so negative that they see the world totally different than how I do. Like, my world is almost paradise, and their world is a nightmare. And if you sit and talk with someone for a while, you can understand why their world is a nightmare. It's because they made it that way by their thoughts. Even though you try to speak positive words to them, help them, it's like they don't even hear positivity anymore. And the sad thing is, they will still repeat the same mistakes over and over. And when they don't get the results that you get because you think positive, then they start getting mad at themselves, at other people, and wondering why. And then they try to put the blame on everyone else, but they forgot one thing. It's their thoughts that created this. It's their thoughts and their perception of the world that creates their life. So I'm just asking, if y'all are out there and y'all are thinking negative and always thinking the worst and always expecting the worst, then that's what you're going to get. And if you expect the best and only accept the best, if you don't accept mediocrity, if you raise your standards, if you say, that's not for me, I'm better than that. It's not being arrogant. It's not being, stuck up. It's saying, hey, look, I'm sorry. That is not the life that I choose or want. I don't accept that. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with not wanting to accept something that you would never accept in the first place. Don't make people make you feel guilty for not accepting what they have to offer you when you know damn well that you don't want it.
Exactly.
A lot of people will do this to you. They're very negative, and they will make you feel bad for not wanting to come down on their level. When actually they should be trying to rise to your level. Don't let them take you back down. Help them rise if you can with some positive thoughts, some positive.
I'm sorry, is this Nepal Shaddah?
Advice?
Huh?
Is this Nepal Shaddah?
That's their problem.
No.
Think about it. If you did accept their offer,
Nepal
Shaddah, they would just bring you down, and then you wouldn't be.
Yeah, she sounded like Sanetta.
The one is Sanetta.
Yeah, she sounded like Sanetta Kakavine, but go ahead.
No, that's not the Kakavine.
Someone offered you something that you would not accept. Don't feel guilty about it. There's no reason to. That's like let's just say you are used to eating gourmet food.
But these are her older videos.
And, you know, well-prepared meals. And then someone comes and offers you a horse burger.
Did I not tell you about Deborah Cooper? She said the same message, but a more upbeat tone that'll put people to sleep. I'm just saying.
No, what happened was sprinkle. But what happened was this is one of her older videos. She had to learn the camera. She had to learn her voice, but I still like the message. Now she glamour to the T. But she's been doing this a long time, and she was the heavy set. She had the kids. Sometimes you gotta learn the camera. You had to, some people was probably shy in the beginning, but these are her older ones. Now she sprinkle, and they be dropping that money, honey. Soon as she goes
I don't even know who she is. I'm sorry, I didn't know her. Yeah.
Soon as she goes sprinkle, that cash up go cha-ching, cha-ching.
No, she's a pretty woman. I'm not hating.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think she's prettier than Deborah Cooper, but I'm just saying Deborah Cooper message, the delivery was better. That's all.
Who is Deborah Cooper? Hello? Who is Deborah Cooper? I gotta go look for her now.
Please, Deborah Cooper. She's older than me and you. I know we close in age, but she's older than both of us. And she spell it with 2 B's. Deborah's with 2 B's. And Tony, I wish you calling her show one day. She does something she called, I think Decemberary. It's too late now. Not Decemberary, but February. Because her name is Deborah. So she makes a thing about a play on words, Deborary. And she has Black women come up on the panel and just talk to her audience. Like whatever they experience.
Is it Deborah Cooper?
Exactly. I told you she put 2 B's. It's Deborah Cooper, but I guess to make it for that, she put 2 B's.
What it knows, Deborah.
Yeah, Deborah. Oh, that's how they pronounce it. She's old school, so you might be right. Yeah.
Deborah. Is
Come back up, Venus. I was wondering where you went. You're a pretty lady. I see you now in the chat.
Okay. Let's see what type of videos she has.
Go all over it. And she got a playlist for everything. She got over 900 videos. I love her.
Yeah.
And she got a playlist so you could go wherever you want. But when she do her next year, February, Tony T, please, I'm going to sign you up. Please enter it, Hopefully this time she won't curse me out, because the last woman I signed up, I got kicked off of Instagram, so she cursed me out. Because I was
what?
She will curse you out. She tell you that.
She ain't gonna curse me.
Because she makes slots for each month. You know what I'm saying? For February, she does pre-recorded videos, and she wants to put another woman out. Black women out.
She ain't gonna curse me out. It ain't happening.
Oh God, here go her Leo. Yeah. No, she cursed me out because I did something wrong. Like, I did it, but like the lady wanted to do it because she had just graduated in medical grad, but I wound up getting kicked off the Instagram, so I had no way to contact her. So that was it.
Okay, I want to hear this man. I love R.C. Blake's, and this is his perspective of submission.
I want to hear it.
Yeah, you're gonna hear it. Come back in, sis. I hear something.
And where's Boss Lady at?
I don't know. She's usually here, but I remember she's 3 hours behind us.
Oh, okay. If he come up, is she coming up?
When she get here, she gonna be like, send that link. You know how she is.
No, she was already in the chat accent. V. I'm talking about V. Not both.
I put the link back in there for her.
Oh, let me hear this, man. I see him on the other
She
line.
was asking me all the kind of questions about, she'll be 20 years old in May. And so she was asking me all kinds of questions about relationships, about marriage, about sex, about abstinence. And then we got on the subject of submission. And she had a lot of questions about submission. And she thought that it would be a great idea for me to address the subject, which I think I have in the past, but she thought it would be a great idea for me to address the subject from my, perspective, which I believe is a biblical perspective. A lot of people will disagree with me, I guess, when they hear my perspective, because a lot of times we use religion to subjugate, segments of people. Black people have been subjugated by the misapplication of scripture to believe that our black skin is cursed. And a lot of us yet believe that. That was religion. That was not the word of God. That was religion, twisting the word of God. And so likewise, I believe that the subject of submission, the wife's submission, has been twisted by religious minds to put psychological locks on generations of women. And I think men have taken the scripture and twisted it to mean what they want it to mean. And it has no real basis in the original intent of the revelation. Now, that's my view. A lot of men will not agree with it. But when she and I got into our discussion about submission and what her view was or is, and what she believes most young women's view is about submission, it kind of goes like this. You get married to a man, you do what he tells you to do, period. Okay, here it is again. Her view of what she thought, which is why she has, these bumpers up, her view, and she believes that most young women's view is that when the scripture says, wives, submit to your husbands, that it means you get married to a man, you do what he tells you to do, period. That ain't Bible. That is not. Okay, let's just think about it from a common sense perspective. Okay, let's think about it from a common sense perspective. God himself does not make us do anything. He gives us the power to choose. He gives us the power to make decisions, and he's God. He's our Father. No one has our best interests at heart more than God. He's sovereign, and he does not make us do anything. He presents certain things, and he gives us the power to choose whether we will do it or not. I then asked her relative to my relationship to her mother, which she has witnessed for nearly 20 years now. My marriage to her mother, she's witnessed for nearly 20 years now. She's 19 years old. I said, have you ever seen me tell your mother what to do? And she said, no, I've never seen you tell my mom what to do. I have said to my wife, this is the way I see it. This is what I'd like to see happen. And because certain things are in place that we're going to discuss in a minute, my wife has been able to process what I've suggested and then submit to it willingly, not by force, but willingly, based on a mutual connection and a mutual understanding. God does not tell you, just do what a man tells you to do. That man has to be a certain man and a proven man. All right, the Bible says in Colossians 3:18, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands. There are a lot of you all who are submitting yourselves to people that you're not even married to.
Thank you.
You didn't even have an intention to marry you. He says, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as it is fit in the Lord. As it is fit in the Lord. So number one, watch this.
And business, marriage is a business.
A husband. And a husband has certain qualities. Now, I don't have time to get into all of that, but just because you went to the altar and got some paper doesn't mean you walked away with a husband. Because a husband is going to sacrifice for you. A husband is going to put you first. A husband will die for you. A husband will hurt himself before he ever hurts you. A husband will provide for you. A husband will guide and lead you spiritually. A husband will guard you. A husband will support your gifts and your abilities. A husband will give you a platform to expand your personal vision. That's what a husband does. So he says, wives, submit yourself.
Tony, can you ask your chat, has any husband provided this? I'm curious.
As it is fit in the Lord. Now, some take that latter part of that verse, as it is fit in the Lord, to just...
What happened?
When women get married, is this what they got married for? Or is it something else? I'm curious for the women that have been married in your chat or are currently married. I'm just curious.
No, they didn't get married for that.
I don't speak for them.
Because we already had the subject when the trolls came in here.
Oh, sorry.
You forgot. It was trolls.
I didn't see the trolls. I'm late. Right. I'm catching up.
No, they got married for 50-50. They got married because I love you and you love me and we're going to do this together. But, me as a content creator, I just wanted to let people know that you don't get husband privileges on a boyfriend budget.
Okay. I'm with that one. All right. Yeah.
Your boyfriend budget. You don't get husband privileges.
I'm mad I missed that live. I'm going to rewatch it. Watch it.
No, but it's not the live. I don't know if they're gonna let the commentary be there. Sometimes they let the chat in when you rewatch it or not. But I like to hear his point of view because you notice he's like, I never told your mother this. I love R.C. Blakes, and he's an older.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like the things he's saying, I have never seen women get married for. That's what this is like confusing to me. Like, if this is a marriage about, I'll get married tomorrow. Fuck it,
Oh gosh.
Block it down to it's fit in the Lord. It is the Lord's will for you to submit to your husband. I believe that, but I also believe when it says as it is fit in the Lord, that it is also a challenge for you to discern whether or not this so-called husband of yours is guiding you in the direction that pleases God. Do you really believe that the Father is going to give a command for you to submit or follow someone's guidance or someone's instruction that's leading you away from Him? So God's going to tell you to listen to me even if I'm directing you away from the Father, and then the Father is going to judge me or judge you for listening to me when He told you to listen to me? It doesn't take a whole lot of theological savvy. It's just common sense. That doesn't add up.
That man leads you straight to hell.
So a woman, submission rather, does not give the man, submission does not give the man a blank check of supremacy or superiority over the wife. And I think that's how it's been viewed. That when the Bible says to the woman, submit to your own husband, that it means that the woman somehow is a second-class citizen and your husband is superior to you. Not so. Not so.
Tony, I don't know if it's something happening in your internet, but it sounds like you get the echo.
The reason I works is because I view my wife as an equal. When Adam looked at Eve, in fact, I was teaching this the other night. The first thing that Adam did relative to humanity, and he had dealt with plants and animals and all of that. Before God gave him a wife, God put him to sleep, made woman, at some point in time brought them together. And the first thing Adam does relative to humanity is that he affirms the woman. And he says, when he says to Eve, thou art woman, in essence, Adam was saying, you are my co-equal in dominion. The very first thing Adam does relative to humanity and relative to the woman is he affirms her as his co-equal in dominion. Woman, man with a womb, you are just like I am, except you have the capacity to give birth. It was not, I'm superior to you, you're inferior to me. It was, we are equals in dominion. But a woman only submits to a man that meets certain.
Hold up. Am I the only person that grew up in a Pentecostal church that never heard these verses?
If he's not a husband, husbands love your wives as Christ loved the church, meaning he has to be spiritual enough to discern and to know how Christ loved the church. If he's not a husband, there's really nothing to submit to. Now, the reason we struggle with submission is because we fail. Watch this. We struggle in submission. Women struggle in submission because most women fail in yoking properly. You struggle in submission when you fail to yoke properly. This is why 2 Corinthians 6:14 says, be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, yada, yada. An unequal yoke, watch this, is a relationship that puts unnecessary pressure and pain on you in your natural constitution. In other words, you're tied to someone that challenges who you are fundamentally, and the connection is painful. So if you connect, all right, if you have a yoke goes from this neck to the neck of another beast. If you have one beast that is 6 feet tall and another beast that is 4 feet tall, and you yoke them together, somebody's neck, if not both of them, are going to get broken because it's unequal. And it causes pain. And while, watch this, while the 6 foot tall beast is trying to move forward, the 4 foot tall beast is in such pain that he can't submit to the momentum of it because it's killing him. I don't know if y'all catch it.
I got you.
We fail in being able to submit
to me. I'm really confused right now.
We are not yoked properly. You're dating the wrong people. You're interested in the wrong people. A lot of you all have to go back and you have to revisit what you think you're attracted to, because the reason you can't submit to the people you've seen or the people that have come through your life is because they have all been unequal yokes. The Bible says in Deuteronomy 22:10, thou shalt not plow with an ox and an ass. You got to make certain that you are entertaining people that are on your same frequency. You have to make certain that you're entertaining people that are on your same level as a woman. Why would you entertain a man that's not on your same spiritual level? He's not on your same intellectual level. He doesn't have the same kind of vision. His vision is not expansive enough for yours to fit into. Y'all on different pages going in different directions, but because he fine, you want to marry the man. And then after
can we pause it real quick, because this is on topic. This is on topic. Did you notice he didn't mention financial? And this is important for Black women. Did you notice he went through everything that you're unequally yoked with except for financial? And if I notice one thing about Christian women, and I grew up in the Pentecostal church, which is the strictest of religion other than Kojic, I guess, but they basically the same rules. They don't
get to financial yet.
No, he just said it. He just said that they're not mentally, physically, whatever, but he never mentioned financial. And if he do it, it's going to be an afterthought. So I just want that to be noted. But go ahead.
Yeah, but he's basically saying that one is not bigger than the other.
Oh, he's saying that you have to be equally yoked. So exactly. Black men are keen on going half with you. So I just want Black women to realize this. When you're dealing with Black men, you're going to be going half. So even the Christian man, he didn't mention anything about financial. If I'm wrong, you can rewind it. He said everything except financial. It was killing me not to say
but
nothing.
a lot
Like,
of
who might say
see,
it?
men like him are the providers. So I don't know if he would say that.
Well, why would he say that? That would be the first thing he would say. They will be financially yoked. May not know that providers, they're
But
gonna mention
sometimes
that
you're
first.
not financially yoked, but certain things I do better than you. That will make us even.
I believe that we have to be equally yoked. I believe we have to be equally yoked.
That I'm the head and whatever I say go and you're a slave. You know, he's saying that's not what that means.
No, what I'm saying is he's trying to revisualize history because a lot of Christian Black women end up with Jesus as their man until they dying day. And we all know mothers like that. What I'm saying to you is this. He's trying to revisualize history to make Christian women think it's okay to go half with a man. And at the end of the day, a man said that a man is supposed to be a protected provider. That's where I get it from. My protected and provider standpoint comes from my Christian upbringing. I don't see him quoting those lyrics or whatever. But go ahead. Why am I on the main screen? I just was saying, like, he's not talking sense, you know? Where did she go? Oh, okay, I'll keep talking. Thank you. I just went to the comments like, okay, what I was trying to say is this. Like, I grew up in the Pentecostal church where they say women were not even allowed to be apostles or evangelist, or maybe they could be evangelist. I'm not sure. Like, I left that years ago. But they basically said that women were not allowed to be a pastor or even in that title or that form. So I said that I don't see him mention anything about financial, because everything I see with American Black women and American Black men dynamics, they want us to
push the wrong button again. I pushed the wrong button again. And clicked myself out as usual. That's that. Hey, Blanche, baby. Oh my goodness. Let me let him finish up, and then we can discuss it. I don't click myself out.
Okay, yeah, they said they're used to it. I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm like, okay, where'd she go? Why she leave me here by myself?
I clicked myself off again.
They used to you. Your chat know you. You got to ride and die chat. Okay, like Miss Ride. All right.
I don't even see him anymore. Dag, what happened to it? Fuck. How did I lose it?
Yeah, that's a good thing that y'all know her like that. Because Miss Tony is a Leo and she's very mean sometimes. Don't let her nice voice fool her.
I'm very what?
Nothing. Go ahead.
What was that? Needy. You said needy?
No, I said mean sometimes. MEAN.
Oh, we can be. You ain't lying.
All right, thank you.
You said needy. I was going to say that.
Oh gosh, you trying to argue with me? See that, Leo? Ready for a fight? Go ahead.
All right, now we back into action. I'm always touching the wrong daggone button. But actually, I grew out of my mean stage many moons ago.
Lies.
I'm sorry.
She nice like Pastor P, y'all.
No, because I'm like this. As long as my point still get across, there's no need to be mean. Now, it's not like the meanness has died, but it's still there. But I'm just
no, you're not nasty. Put it like that. You're not a nasty person, but you can't get me. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want. I try to treat people the way I want them to treat me.
That's true.
So let's listen to. I gotta catch some more. Oh no, this is the wrong damn thing. See, I'm always effing up here. I'm always effing up. God damn.
You good.
Oh my God. Okay, now we back to the right one. Jeez Louise.
Wears off. Now you realize that you in real life, and now you got a man that you supposed to be submitting to, but he going in a different direction. His vision is too small for you to fit into. He's not on the same spiritual frequency. He doesn't want the same things you desire, and yet you've put yourself under his oversight. You gotta get to the point of understanding that your yoking is most important. When you find the right man that has the right vision and the right heart and is on the right spiritual frequency. See, y'all got to get away from haircuts and muscles, and you got to really go to the internals of the man, because that's where you find a husband. You don't find a husband in the barber chair. You don't find a husband in the gym. You find a husband in the internals of the man, in the soul of the man, in the what's the word? In the constitution of the man, in the man's inner makings. There's another word I was searching for, but I couldn't find. Character. In the character.
Hey, Dwayne.
But y'all don't think about character until you've married the muscles in the haircut. And now the man telling you to do stuff you don't want to do because he's on a whole different frequency from you. But yet you walk down the aisle and made all of these vows. Whereas you should have taken your time to make certain that you guys were equally yoked before you even brought it to that level of commitment. But now watch this. Number one. Watch this. But he fine, huh? All right. I can't read this. It's a side. Was it Dr. Sonia? Watch this.
Thank you,
Submission.
Dwayne. Oh my
Submission
God.
is not automatic.
Thank you.
Submission is not automatic.
Thank you so much.
Submission, the submission of a woman is to always follow the honor of a man. In other words, the man is supposed to honor the woman, and it is the man that honors the woman, the husband that honors the woman, that qualifies for the woman to submit to him. You have a lot of men that are promoting submission who've not honored. And you have a lot of women that are trying to submit to a man that has not been mature enough to honor her. Even married a man that has not honored you. Bible says in 1 Peter 3:7, husbands dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. But it says, dwell with them according to knowledge and giving honor. To honor means to esteem to the highest degree. To esteem to the highest degree. And what I always say is, watch this. I have never told Lisa,
thank you, truly. I
do this. I mean,
you.
do this. You better do this.
Thank
Never.
you, baby.
You don't talk to no Jamaican woman like that. You better do this. I mean, do this, and I mean, do it. Now, I have said, Lee, this is the way I want to see it done, sweetie. I want to see it done like that. Will you do it like this? And sometimes she ain't like it. She said, okay, I'll do what you say. But I've never told my wife what to do. You know why my wife follows my instructions and my suggestions? It's because I've always honored her. I've never talked to her in a crazy tone of voice. I've never cursed at my wife. I've never acted as though I was going to be aggressive towards my wife. I've always put my wife on a pedestal. I always seek my wife's opinion. Sometimes we disagree about how things are supposed to be done, but I listen to her perspective when she's right, which is a lot of times. I do it the way she says to do it. In fact, about it, I find myself listening to her many times more than she listens to me. So when I say, okay, babe, this is the way I'd like to see it done, she submits to that. Why? Because I have sufficiently honored her. And we have, a brother cannot expect submission before he has esteemed or honored his wife. Watch this. Submission is the fruit of honor. You cannot get the fruit of submission until you've planted the seed of honor. Let that sink in. Let that soak in. So when you see my wife takes care of me, man. I mean, my wife takes care of me. But that is the fruit of honor, her submission to me, her loyalty to me. You know, that woman takes care of me, man. But it's because I constantly sow the seeds of honor into my wife. And the seeds of honor from the man will always produce the fruit of submission. It's the natural response to honor. Because watch this. Submission that is forced is not submission at all. It is manipulation. It is manipulation. It's witchcraft. The day I have to walk in my house and twist my wife's arm behind her back to get her to submit to my oversight as husband is the day that I'm really not a husband. And it's not submission at all. It's manipulation. Number two, the intent of submission. Watch this. Now you got to catch this part right here. Why does God say to the wife, submit to your own husband? Why does God say to the husband, honor your wives? Because the intent of submission is for the woman to support the man's mission and vision for the family. When you go back to Genesis, God created man, the male man first, and God gave Adam everything pertaining to what he was to do, what mankind was to do. By the time God brought woman on the scene, the man had a complete vision and mission for existence. He had a purpose for being. Submission speaks of, watch this. So point number two, the intent of submission is not that the man is superior, because he's not. We're co-equals. It is not that the man is superior, but the intent of submission is for the woman to support the man's mission and vision for the family. Submission, submarine, sub-zero. Submission speaks of getting beneath the man's mission. Sub equals, again, beneath, and mission speaks of purpose. So submission is the woman getting beneath the man's purpose. God did not give Adam a woman until he had a clear purpose. Genesis 2:18, and the Lord God said, it's not good that the man should be alone. I will make him and help meet for him. But God did not say that until, watch this, Adam had a job, a purpose, a house, secure in his own identity. Then God said, it's not good for you to be alone. All of the other beasts he made male and female together. He made male and female man separately, because the man had to come first to get a clear vision and to have the capacity to accommodate a woman. And so when God brings Eve on the scene, he says, it's not good for you to be alone. I'm going to make you a helpmeet, somebody that can help you dominate. But if a man has no mission or vision, what does he need submission to? A man only needs the submission of a woman when he has a clear vision. And watch this. That vision, and I won't get ahead of myself, has to be big enough to accommodate his vision. The man's vision has to be big enough to accommodate the woman's vision. The woman has to be wise enough to know that this man is on the same frequency as me, and he has a vision that is large enough for my vision to fit into. So if I try to fit into his life, he's not going to strangle my vision. He's going to fertilize it.
About coming to you again today, and my, we have a wonderful subject matter today for the ladies. how to know if a man is capable of loving you. And there was a thought that I had. I really believe the Holy Spirit just kind of put that thought in my head, actually. And the thought was, just because a person can love you, desires to love you, does not mean that they're capable of loving you. And I think where we are, drifting off of the rails in society is that we are choosing people that desire to love us, who may have a genuine attraction, affinity for us. And we're choosing people that, we may desire to love, but there are very few of us who are really stopping to think deeper. There are very few people who are asking the question, is this person truly capable of loving me? Now, this is not just something off the top of my head, but this is really how Lisa and I have developed our marriage.
Good night, Dwayne. Thank you,
when we made a
Wayne.
decision, both of us actually,
Nighty
when we made a
night.
decision
Stay
to
safe.
marry,
God bless you.
I was
Thank
not
you.
marrying Lisa for who she was at that time, or who I was, should I say, at that time. I was marrying Lisa for who I knew I was going to be. And when I looked at Lisa and her intangibles, in the stuff beyond the physique and the attraction, the sexual attraction and all of that kind of thing, when I looked at her intangibles, I realized that she had the internals. She had the capacity. She was capable of loving me in all phases, from where I was then to where I, envisioned myself going. She often tells the story of how when she married me, when she chose me because, or one of the reasons she chose me was because she knew that I had a drive and a work ethic and that I would be a provider. She never wanted to marry and have children with a man that she would have to, struggle and worry about if he's going to keep a job, if he's going to be a provider. So, we had deeper thoughts than we were attracted to one another and, we wanted to jump in the bed and have sex. It was about more than that. And I'm hoping to awaken your consciousness to the fact that you are going to have to think deeper than the surface, because there's a massive difference between a man loving you versus a man that is actually capable of loving you. A person can love you and yet be incapable of loving you the way you deserve, the way you desire, the way you would need to be loved. A man can love you, and sometimes you settle for a person loving you. But when you really stop and you think deeper, you begin to realize that this person does not have the capacity to love me to the full. This person is not capable of giving me everything I need. If you've been a broken woman, there are certain men that may love you, but it does not mean that they have the capacity to love you the way you would need to be loved as a broken woman. Now, to determine, or one of the approaches to determining if a man is capable of loving you is to understand that it probably boils down to his definitions or his definition of certain things. It probably boils down to his definition of what love is. And before you get into what his definition of what love is, you must first ask yourself, what is your definition? Because toxic masculinity indoctrinates male culture to believe that love is sex, and sex is love.
Toxic
and the unfortunate
masculinity.
reality is that the broken consciousness of this generation of women is also defining love as sex. But I'm here to tell you out of experience that if a man does not have a deeper definition of love than sex, or a different definition of love than sex, he's probably more than likely, absolutely, positively not capable of loving you the way you would need to be loved. What is his definition of manhood? Is manhood all about the loins? Is it just about what's anatomically established in his mid-region? Or is manhood about what's established psychologically between his ears? What is his definition of love? What is his definition of manhood? What is his definition of womanhood? Is a woman just a slave, like a lot of folk try to make her? Is she just a utensil that's good for sexual fulfillment, the production of babies and domestic acts? These are actually good questions for you ladies to ask men, even when you're dating, just to go deeper without being too deep. What is your definition of love? What is your definition of manhood? What is your definition of womanhood? A woman is a man's what? A man is a woman's what? What are the responsibilities? And get some understanding of where he is. Now, when if you want to go biblical, you start looking at love. Love is sacrificing. Love is giving. Love is providing. Manhood. The man is the protector. The man is the provider. The man is the covering. The man is the sacrificer. Womanhood. The woman is the man's favor. The woman is the man's partner in dominion. The woman is the mother of all living. But getting an understanding of how he defines these things will give you some insight relative to, what dimension he's in. If he's just in that carnal, sexual, physical dimension, or if he's on a deeper soulish level, or even into the spiritual realm. Listen to what the Bible says here in 1 Peter 3:7. It says, likewise, ye husbands dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker. But he says, dwell with them according to knowledge. A man that would be capable of loving you is a man that has knowledge of God, knowledge of self, knowledge of you. And watch this. He's also a man that is on a personal healing journey. If you are a woman that has been traumatized, battered, and you are in the process of healing or desiring to heal, you need more than a cute man. You need a man that is spiritually in tune. You need a man that is connected to God. You need a man that is emotionally intelligent. You need a man that is sensitive to you. Because this man is going to have to dwell with you according to knowledge. The man that can satisfy your eye and maybe your body is not necessarily the best caretaker for your soul. And I'm afraid that there are too many of you young and even older sisters that are simply choosing men that can care for your eye and your body, but have no impact on your soul. And here's the reality. What the eye is beholding is changing every day. The sexual component is changing every day. But what happens in the soul, the connection between a man and a woman on the soulish level, is the part that will endure for the lifetime of the relationship. Yet, most of you have made no investment into discovering the depths of this man's soul. You have not even made it a requirement that this man connect with you. And when you use phrases like, I want my soul mate, you're really talking about some Hollywood stuff, you know, where you have somebody, y'all have sex all day, every day. That doesn't last but just a minute, babe. When you start talking about the soul, you're talking about the mind, the will, the emotions, somebody that connects with you on this or within the subsurface regions of your life. But very few women choose men that are capable of loving them on that level. So many women choose men that they can love and never consider if the man is capable of loving you. I paused right there for a reason, because that's heavy. That's heavy. And some of you probably just need to breathe right there. You have chosen men that you could love, but you have failed to consider if the men were capable of loving you. This is why you have such a history of giving so much and receiving so little. It's because with your broken consciousness, you only chose men that you could love, but you never stopped to ask yourself the question, is this man capable
of loving me? Amen.
There's something that happens in the mind of a woman with broken consciousness that somehow she begins to believe that she can love a man into manhood. She can love a man into loving her.
Stay on
she can
the
love
topic.
a man into maduration. Listen to what the Bible says in Genesis 2:18. And this is from the Amplified version of the Bible that I'm reading. It says, now the Lord God said, it is not good or beneficial for the man to be alone. I will make him a helper, one who balances him. A counterpart who is suitable and complementary for him. Now, if God made the woman to balance and to complement and to be suitable for Adam, the reverse is true. It means that he made Adam to be suitable and complementary for Eve, and the two, like yin and yang, balance each other out. There are intangible factors in terms of a woman's very real needs from a man that transcend the superficial issues like type, looks. Sex is important. Don't get me wrong. Looks are important. You need somebody that you can look at, but you have to understand that most women are investing all into the looks, the sex, and the whatever, the superficial things, when there are things that are much more essential than those things that women never tend to pay attention to. It's kind of like a person that is enamored with hair and eyelashes and nails, and cares nothing for the heart or the lungs. Come on now. You know, you can get hair transplants. You can put a wig on. You can get fake nails, but what happens when your heart goes? What happens when your lungs go? We are, in terms of the relationships, women are ignoring the lungs, the liver, the heart, and completely captivated, with the hair and the cologne. You need a man that is capable of loving you is a man that would be suitable for you. And you determine if a man is suitable not by your sexual attraction to the man. You determine that a man is suitable for you based on some of these intangibles that we're going to discuss today. Because the reality is sexual attraction can be built. There are people that are happily married today who are not sexually attracted to one another, but they began to build friendships and relationships on things more meaningful. And then they discovered that they evolved into a romantic relationship. But how few of us, should I say, are ever going beneath the surface? And then you wonder, why is it that you keep on choosing men that you can love, but you choose men that can't love you back? Well, if you go to Proverbs 16 and 25 in the Message version, it says, there's a way that looks harmless enough. Look again, it leads straight to hell. In the King James, it goes something like this. There's a way that seemeth right unto man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. When you are making these relational decisions on a superficial level from a platform of broken consciousness, it feels and looks like, it seems like you are doing the absolute best thing for your life. This is why your family, your mama can't talk to you, your sisters can't, your brother, your daddy, your friends, your pastor, nobody can talk to you, because in that moment, it looks like, it feels like you are doing the absolute best thing for your life. But look again, it leads straight to hell. There's some things that you need to see show up in a man. There's some intangible things that you need to see show up in a man on a daily basis to even, I believe, if you're a wise woman, to even consider that man. A man is not a consideration, should not be a consideration for you choosing him just because you're sexually attracted. There are a whole lot of men you can be sexually attracted to. There's some other things that you have to look for in a man. Empathy. Is this man capable of putting anybody ahead of himself? That's one of the cornerstones of manhood. Manhood is all about sacrificing and giving one's life. Intimacy. Dude can have sex all night, but, can't survive one intimate moment, because intimacy and sex are two different things. Every man wants to go sexual, but very few want to be intimate. This is why, usually when a man is finished with the sexual act, if he doesn't really love a woman, he finds a way to get out. And that's just hipping some of you all the game. You got to do constantly rolling through your crib, at the same time, every week, same night, same time, and 15, 20 minutes, he in the bed with you. And then, he tapping his wife, I got to go. It's an emergency. That's just a sexual thing. There's no intimacy. There's really no relationship there. You're just having sex. Because when a man is really in love with a woman, even after the sex is over, he wants to be around her. When a man is not really in love with a woman, after the sex is over, he wants to be away from her. You need to search for empathy. See, does he have empathy? Does he have the capacity for intimacy? Is he transparent? If he lacks the capacity for intimacy, he's probably not going to be transparent, because intimacy is really all about opening your heart for another to come in and being willing to enter into another person's private space. And then, is he consistent? Does he have character? These are things that most women, you would think at 40 years old, these are the things you would be looking for. But it's sad that some of you all at 40 and 50 and 60 years old are still looking for a dude that's looking good and smelling good. Nothing wrong with that. You just have to understand that that's not the cake. That's the icing. You just got to understand that. That's not the cake. That is not the substance. That's just the style. Now, why does a woman, I'm just laying some foundation, why does the average woman feel the need to have a man in her life that typically breaks her? Why do you feel you need a certain kind of man? And the kind of man that most women feel they need is the kind of man that is going to be a player. You know, that's what y'all mean when you say he got swag. It means he has the kind of energy that he's attracting all of the women, and dudes attract women on purpose. You know, we build ourselves to attract a lot of women on purpose, and we know exactly what, you know, gangs of broken conscious women desire, and that's what you gravitate. Why do you need that kind of guy? Why are you not attracted to a less flamboyant, more settled man? Why is it when a man becomes settled, he becomes less attractive? When a man is not narcissistic, you know, you're not as attractive. But when a man is self-centered and he's a challenge, women with broken consciousness, that's the man they want. They want the unavailable man. Most women don't want the men that are available. Why is that? Broken consciousness. There's a big difference between how you would choose a man out of broken consciousness as a woman versus how you would choose a man when you become queen conscious, or you level up, or you really become a high value woman. You see what, you know, y'all, a lot of y'all thinking a high value woman ain't so. High value woman is not running around here giving her body away to all of these men trying to do anything to attract a man making a certain amount of money. No ma'am, no ma'am, no ma'am. A high value woman, that high value starts on the inside with character, morals and ethics and standards that she establishes, and the men that she would choose are men that would align themselves with her values, her standards, and her ethics. Listen to what the Bible says, going back to why women choose men that are not capable of loving them back, falling into all of these soul ties and developing all of these long, drawn-out situationships that never make a deposit into you. 2 Timothy 3:6-7 says, "For of this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sins, led away with divers lusts, ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth." You sit and you watch hours and hours and hours and hours of my teachings on queenology, the father-daughter talk, and you go right back and you do the same thing with another dummy, with another clown in a crown. Why is that? The Bible calls that woman a silly woman that's led away with divers lust. And silly simply means that she's a woman that lacks dignity. She does not understand her own value or worth. Because when a woman is operating from a place of broken consciousness, she craves superficial qualities that are not enduring. Because her self-esteem bank is so empty, depleted, deficient, she craves superficial stimuli. It's like when the body is deficient of certain minerals, the body begins to crave sugar, it begins to crave salt, it begins to crave unhealthy things. Why? Where's that craving coming from? Something that is necessary but is deficient. When you fill the deficiency, when you satisfy the deficiency, the cravings die. Now let's get into this here. Let's get into this here. How to know if a man is capable, how a woman may know that a man is capable of loving her. Number one, the man that is capable of loving you will calm your fears and insecurities. In fact, about it, The man that is capable of loving you is a man that creates a calm. He's not a drama queen. He's not a hothead. He's not an unstable, all over the place kind of guy. The man that is capable of loving you will calm your fears and insecurities. Now, you have to be in a mode of healing. You have to be on the path to queen consciousness to appreciate this guy, because if you have broken consciousness, this guy is going to come across in your psyche as boring. Any guy that calms you and is mild-mannered and even-tempered is boring. The woman with broken consciousness needs a man that presents a whole lot of challenges and crises and all of this kind of stuff, because a woman is created as the weaker vessel. She comes with built-in apprehensions, insecurities. And when she becomes healthy and she's, especially if she's thinking relationally, and she's thinking, about going into a relationship, and if she's healthy, her mind lands on a few things relative to the man that go beyond his haircut, his build, and his sexual capacity and all of this kind of thing. What is his financial philosophy? Can he protect me? Not only physically, but can he protect me? Will he protect me emotionally? Am I safe with this guy? Will he be a good father? Can he lead? These are questions. And the man that is suitable for the woman answers these questions without a conversation. Now let me show you how this works. Women that make all of these decisions about relationships from the platform of broken consciousness, what happens with you is you engage the man, you have babies for the man. The man may, more than likely, won't marry you or may marry you, but it's like after the fact that you start asking the questions that you should have asked on the front end. It's like after the fact you realize that after you've had children for this man, that he cares nothing for keeping a job. His financial philosophy is flawed. You find out after the fact that he won't protect you emotionally or physically because he doesn't show up. He's not a leader. He's a horrible father. Well, you see what I'm saying? You gotta, if you can get tied up in a situation with a man that's fine and swagged out and sexy and all of that, but when you start having babies and life really starts to happen, you'll discover that this guy is incapable of loving me the way I need to be loved, because at that point, I need you. If you love me, be a great father. If you love me, be a provider. All of those red flags were waving when you were jumping in the bed with the man, but you were not paying attention to that because you refused to go deeper. The man that is capable of loving you will calm your fears and your insecurities. And a woman that is healthy will have some fears and some insecurities, that questions that will need to be answered. And listen to what the Bible says in 1 John 4:18. There is no fear in love. When you're being loved right by the right man, listen to what the Bible says. But perfect love casteth out fear. When you're being loved right by the right man, he eliminates all of those concerns, all of those fears and insecurities, and he usually eliminates those, he answers those questions without even having a conversation. It's the way he lives his life. Number two, the man that is capable of loving you will be exceptionally patient. Now, again, I have to reiterate, if you're struggling with broken consciousness, a patient man is a turnoff, because you're attracted to, with the, what is it? The Professor Klump, the movie with Eddie Murphy in it. You the buddy guy.
Love,
that's the guy you attracted to. The guy that's impatient. rude, loud, always hurried. If you have broken consciousness, that's the guy you're attracted to. The guy that is patient with you, it's just something about him. He just, I don't know, he ain't got enough oomph. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because I need you to really see yourself. You have been your own worst enemy in terms of your relational outcomes. You have been your own worst enemy. While you're blaming the world and you talking about there are no good men, no, sweetheart, you continue to go and choose from a polluted pool because you are operating from a place of broken consciousness and you have not stopped to heal. Therefore, you cannot appreciate a healthy man. A healthy man that is capable of loving you is exceptionally patient. A man is patient. Men are patient with women. A grown man is patient with women. But when a man loves a woman, he is exceptionally patient. This is a man, the man that is exceptionally patient with you. This is the man that will help you to heal. This is the man that you can take all of your history and all of your brokenness, and he has enough capacity within him to accommodate you. And he has enough patience to walk you through your process without giving up on you. This is the man you won't have to strive for perfection, just progress. This is the man that you can gain a few pounds and he's going to still love you just the same. He may take you to the gym and try to work out with you, but he's going to love you just the same. Because he's what? Exceptionally patient. You see, you don't realize you need a patient man sometimes, especially when you're younger, because you've not hit some of those, those lows in life that everybody hits. Where you're going to need somebody that's going to be there in your corner when you're not at your best, when you're not your best version. Well, if you have the kind of man that you're constantly choosing, every time you off of your game, they replace you. If you look in 1 Corinthians 13 and verse 4 in the Amplified, it reads like this: love endures with patience. Love endures with patience and serenity. Love is kind and thoughtful and is not jealous or envious. Love does not brag and is not proud or arrogant, but love endures with patience. When a man is loving you and a man has the capacity to love you the right way, he is very patient with you. And you see, you learn to pay attention to these things. If a man comes to pick you up, most of you ladies are not going to be on time. And so he comes to pick you up and you're still in the bathroom. Well, if he frowning and slamming on the door and blowing the horn and all this kind of stuff and walking in and out the house and slamming the door, hurry up, hurry up. You may want to rethink that. You may want to rethink that. Because a man that loves you and has the capacity to love you the right way is a man that is exceptionally patient with you. So if you're not ready, you say, oh, I knew it. Take your time, sweetheart. Do your thing. Get yourself together. No rush, no rush. Don't feel rushed. Don't feel rushed. Because that is a part of a man loving a woman for a lifetime. A man is going to have to be patient with his woman. You're going to have to be patient with your woman. Like a woman has to be patient with a man. Why is it? Because men are from Mars, women are from Venus. We speak two different languages, and sometimes we don't understand one another. And if we're impatient with one another, and men tend to be more impatient than women, but if we're impatient with one another, it's going to always be a what? A clashing. Because being a female involves a myriad of situations, from your emotions to your hormones to just changes in life, pregnancy, menopause, body image concerns. The man that is capable of loving you must be patient by nature. And if he's not patient by nature, when he really loves you, he will become more and more and more patient, because men are patient with the women they love. Now that's I'm giving you some game right there. If a man tells you he loves you, he's in love with you, and he's impatient with you, you may want to rethink that, because when a man really loves a woman, he becomes extremely patient with her. She doesn't have to be perfect, because he what? Loves her. Love says she doesn't have to be perfect. Love makes him patient. Now, number 3, the man that is capable of loving you will insist on generosity, his generosity. He will insist on being privileged to be generous towards you. In other words, he's not a man that's going to allow you to come in with this stuff talking about, I'm an equal and I'm gonna pay for dinner. You're an equal, but you ain't paying for no dinner. No, you're not. No, you're not. Yeah, you are an equal. Yeah, I believe that. Genesis declares that God made both of us equivalent, but you ain't paying for no dinner. There are roles and levels to this thing. There's some levels and there's some roles, and we're going to respect the roles, and the masculine role is to be generous. The masculine role is to be generous. The base way a man demonstrates his love is through providing financially for those he loves. Y'all give us a hard time for being providers, but it's really the base way we demonstrate our masculinity and our love is to go out here and provide. Now, you fussing about he working 2 jobs and he working all of these hours and he ain't spending no time here, but that is the base way. Now, he needs to be enlightened, and there needs to be some balance brought, of course, but you don't demean a man for giving you the purest expression of masculine love. And that is to what? To provide and to be generous to those we love. Now, I know I got some of you here that got these little fellas in your house and you paying for everything and all of that, talking about your man. Hey, you don't have no man, you have a son. You just adopted a son, you just don't realize it. You just adopted a son. Any man that you paying bills for, that's a son. You ain't but 2 men you should be paying bills for. That should be what you call it, a son that's not an adult, or a father that is at a point in life where he's incapable of taking care of himself. He's so old. You should not be paying no other man's bills. If you got a real man in your life, that man is going to insist on generosity towards you. He's not going to be cheap, and he's certainly not going to be sitting around there mooching off of you. If a man does not have a mind to be generous towards you, he's incapable of going the distance. It ain't gonna work, babe. Listen to what the Bible says in Ephesians 5:25. Husbands, go all out in your love for your wives, exactly as Christ did for the church, a love marked by giving, not getting. Now, that doesn't mean that he has to make more money than you. A lot of times women make more money than the man. But it does mean he has to have the mindset that I provide for my woman. We develop a lifestyle that I can finance. Now, you may make more money than me. You may subsidize certain things, but it's understood that I'm taking care of my woman, because that is a fundamental way a man demonstrates love and fulfills his masculinity. Now, there are 2 things I want to say to you about this. Letter A, he needs to provide for his own masculinity. I just kind of said that. But letter B, you need him to provide for your femininity. The reason you out here constantly pulling out your credit cards for a grown man you shouldn't even be paying for a grown man that you gave birth to. But the reason you around here providing for a grown man is because you all up in that masculine energy. You all up in that, you're gonna make things happen. And you're gonna keep getting these clowns and crowns that are something gonna always go wrong. I can't put my finger on it. You're not choosing the right kinds of men that are capable of loving you. The kind of man that is capable of loving you is a man that will insist on being generous, being the provider. The Bible says in 1 Timothy 5:8, but if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. Because if the man cannot provide on a respectable level, it will break his spirit, and eventually it will reveal your lack of respect for him. Because even that man that you got now, that you paying for everything, you don't respect that man. You don't realize you don't respect him. You just using him for Instagram shots and all that, using him for sex and whatever else, to appease to be able to put on your Facebook page that you in a relationship. You don't realize you don't respect him. It's going to be later in life when you don't feel like getting up and you don't feel like running 3 and 4 businesses or working. I don't care if they are paying you $250,000 a year. You don't feel like being under all of that pressure that a woman has to be under to function in corporate America. And you look over in your bed and you realize you've been sleeping with somebody that can't tell you, sit down and chill, I got it. Rather, you sleeping next to somebody that wake up every morning with their hand out. Eventually, it's going to break his spirit when he begins to grow up. He realizes that I've made no provision to be a provider. It's going to break his spirit. Now I'm totally dependent on a woman. And then it's going to reveal your lack of respect. You're going to start talking to him all any kind of way because you're going to get to a point where you don't have respect for him. When your girlfriends get to a certain age, they start talking about, my man retired me. My man retiring me, and we good. And you looking at what you got. Now it's revealed that you've not married a man that is capable of loving you sufficiently. Now, number 4, the man that is capable of loving you is able to command your respect, not demand your respect. If I have to go around and demand respect from you, it speaks poorly of me as a man. Because as a man, I should live my life in a way that commands respect. His masculine energy, the man that is capable of loving you, his masculine energy is so consistent and his character is so solid, you can't disrespect him. His energy is so consistent and his character is so solid, you can't disrespect him. If you go to Titus 1:7-8, it says, for the overseer as God's steward must be blameless, not self-willed, not quick-tempered, not addicted to wine, not violent, not greedy for dishonest gain, but financially ethical. He must be hospitable to believers as well as strangers, a lover of what is good, sensible, upright, fair, devout, self-disciplined, above reproach, whether in public or in private. He's talking about a man that would be a leader in the church of God.
Got school tomorrow.
Says this man is going to have to live his life above reproach.
It's not my fault. You better find
He's going to have
something.
to be a man that lives his life in a way that garners the respect
You better
of
find
people.
something.
Well, if this applies to the house of God, it also applies to the nuclear family, the husband, the wife, the children. Because the church did not come before the family came before the church. The church is modeled after the family structure. If a man should be above reproach to have the respect in the church of God, a man that would be in your life as your husband, as the father of your children, should be a man who lives his life above reproach, a man whose life dictates that you don't have any, I mean, you have no reason to disrespect it. And so when it comes down to, everybody talks about, everybody's hung up on the issue of a woman submitting to a man. Well, my point is, whenever a man really lives the right way with a woman, submission is the natural reaction. When a man honors a woman properly, submission is that woman's natural reflex. The only reason a woman has issues with submitting many times is because either the woman is broken or the man has not demonstrated the kind of character that commands respect. And if you're going to have a man that's going to really be capable of loving you the right way, you're going to have a man that is living his life on this level. Now, a lot of you have thrown guys like this back. Promise you. A lot of you have taken the guys, the characteristics I've outlined, you've taken and thrown these guys back and then got your fingers on the thing that ain't no men in the world. You actually throwing the men out while you're searching for the clowns. You're throwing the kings away while you're searching for the clowns. And because your criteria is superficial, looks, you never even give yourself a chance to dive into the soul of a brother to see if all of this stuff that we're talking about now is present. Because all you needed was looks. You went from looks to having that feeling on the inside to the bed, to then discovering after you had sex with the man for 3-4 months that he's a demon and he's a narcissist. Why you didn't know he was a narcissist before you gave him your body? Because you never took the time to dive deep into the man's soul. You wasn't concerned about the intangible, invisible qualities of the man. You were only concerned about the superficial stuff that you call your type. I know you're cutting me off right now, but that's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Number 5, and finally, the man that is capable of loving you is sober and meek. Sober meaning he's level-headed. Meek meaning he's a man that's under control. Now watch that. Level-headed and a man under control, you put those two things together in the mind of a lot of women struggling with broken consciousness. That's a boring man, level-headed and under control. You want a loose cannon. You want a roughneck. You don't want a man that's level-headed and under control. Not understanding that in today's time and culture, 99% of women are traumatized. Absent fathers, horrific relational experiences. And so when it comes down to your man, you're going to have a man that's level-headed and has himself under control to help facilitate your healing process. See, when a man is sober and meek, he asks the questions, that average men don't ask. He won't ask rather, what's wrong with you? This man, because of his depth, he will ask, what happened to you? This man won't concern himself with what you deserve. This man will concern himself with what you need. You can have a moment with this man because he's sober and meek. You can have a human moment with this man, and he'll chill and let you have that moment, and then he'll come back later and have the conversation with you about how things probably should have been handled because he's what? Sober and meek. See, there's a difference between a man that wants to love you versus a man that has the capacity to love you. And when you don't know what you need as a woman, it makes it even worse. You don't even know how you need to be loved. You out here choosing men and you don't even know how you need to love. Shut it down. Go back and study some more. Learn yourself. Figure this thing out. Heal a little more. And the brother that is sober and meek is going to become more attractive to you. The healthier you get, the more attractive he's going to become to you. The healthier you get, the less you're going to crave toxic masculinity. Listen to what the Bible says in Colossians 3:18 and 19. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as it is fit in the Lord. Husbands, love your wives and be not bitter against them. This brother is sober and meek. Now, many people take meekness as weakness, but the reality is a meek person usually has so much power that they have to take the time to figure out how to restrain themselves, because if they let it loose, if they let it fly, a lot of folk gonna get hurt. So a lot of times you see a meek brother and you write him off as weak, and the reality is that's just a whole lot of power under control. It's a disciplined man. So my prayer is that I've said something to you today that has stimulated some thought in you relative to your process in terms of choosing a man.
Hey. Oh, you're welcome, Nicole. It's gonna be, I want to talk about masculine. I don't even know the word I'm looking for. Masculine oh God. Toxicity. I don't know. We're gonna do something tomorrow. But I gotta school you on a game. It will not be a story night tonight. The only story we're gonna get is in our dreams. That's gonna be the story tonight in our dreams. But I'll catch you guys tomorrow. All of you guys have a beautiful night. Lesson Know Without Oppression. Black women from 6 to 5.5 are being killed. Meanwhile, this man, Christ, is essentially telling you to choose better. What the little black girls do. I don't know, Lena. We could do something on that too. Because we could do something on that too. That's a whole different show. But I'm going to bed. I see you guys in the morning. Well, not the morning, but it depends. But I'm going to bed. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate all of you guys. Hopefully you learned something, got some type of relief or something. I forgot what topic I said I was going to do with you, Uppity, but you got to let me know the topics you want to cover. Let me know the topics you want to cover so you can cover them topics. But we got to stay on topic. All right, guys, peace out. Don't forget, if you like this, like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. But let me know what you want to cover, Uppity, so we can be ready for your top for the what is this? Oh, all right. Good night.